It's 2 p.m. Detroit, and you know what that means. Detroit media icon Ryan Ermanni, University of Michigan great Braylon Edwards, and of course, Maz are about to take over on Woodward Sports. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m., it's the best Detroit sports talk on Detroit's best sports network, Woodward Sports.
Good afternoon on a beautiful Friday here in Birmingham. We welcome you to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. Ryan Ermanni won't be joining us, but you know the guy sitting to my left. It's Anson Wells. Anson, how you doing, man?
I am fantastic. I got my
vintage Detroit
techno shirt on.
Is movement going on?
It absolutely is. It starts tomorrow. I have always said it is Detroit at its best. I have to pay homage to the draft, though. That was the greatest I've ever seen our city. But if you want to see it great every single year, get your butt down there. Memorial Day weekend, Movement, the oldest electronic music festival in the world.
I don't like starting off the show agreeing with Anson Wells, but he's 100% correct. The start of techno music here in Detroit, they started a free festival to highlight that music, and over the years, it's become a paid festival because, you know, Miami with EDM and Winter Music Conference, they stole the model in Ultra. So then they had to start charging. Now That's it is called Movement. It's a thing of beauty. It is fun, and I agree with him. Tom Mazaway, you also have your daughters that love Movement as well.
They'll be there this weekend as well.
Now you're okay with them going to Movement because you know, look, I'm not a hater and I'm not a snitch. But when you go to Movement, it's a lot of things.
I know that.
See.
I know. Lily is she's my kids. I brought them up right. All right, I trust them.
I agree.
You got to let them go, right? You make a nice nest for them. You make them grow up. You teach them. And you let them go out in the world and have a great time. Lily's also a Lollapalooza fan.
Okay.
She goes to that every year. She just loves her music. Yeah. She wants to be, if she had a perfect world, she'd be a DJ traveling across the world.
Just make sure you send her to Electric Forest next month, okay?
So where's that going to be?
That's in Rothbury, Michigan, and that is the greatest electronic music festival in the world.
Send me a reminder on that.
I certainly will.
All right.
A lot of people tend to stay up there for the week because there's back-to-back weekends.
Well, they stopped doing that, but now they extended it where you can go up Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it's basically a week,
Man, it's not too late on that DJing gig, man. Like when I got drafted to the Browns, when I tore my ACL, I had to find something to do because all I'm doing is rehab at the house. Kellen Winslow Jr. got injured the year before. He became a DJ. I said, let me learn how to
She's got her own board.
No way. You spin?
So I started spinning on Serato back in 2006 and then started learning from other DJs and started actually getting good, booked a couple gigs. I used to DJ at Crave here.
Okay, Michigan, so DJ Bray, what do you go by?
Be Easy, man.
Be Easy.
That was always my
nickname. I'm booking you, bro.
Hey, 100%.
Let's do this.
I need to start DJing again. It was fun.
I'm on it, man. Let's get you in.
Speaking of fun, before we get into the games last night, we know what happened, and that both of those matches, Memorial Day weekend is coming up. Tom, Anson, Big Mike, what are your plans for Memorial Day weekend? Because the barbecue is coming. I'm getting excited. The summer is here. Ribs on the grill, mac and cheese, potato salad. Hey, look. What are you?
I'm techno all weekend, my friend. All weekend.
You can't have a
tomorrow,
day to get on the grill?
Sunday, Monday. I mean, it's only one time a year. I gotta soak it all up.
I used to could do that, but I always took a day off. You gotta take one day off. You either take Sunday or Monday off.
Bray, don't get old on me all quick now.
Hey, look, man. Sunday or Monday off, man. I know you're gonna be on this grill, man. Tell me, what are the things that you're looking forward to this Sunday or Monday, depending on when you cook?
We bought our first watermelon. I can't wait. I got it in the fridge. Get nice and cold.
What do you look for in a good watermelon?
Well, it's got to have a little taste to it, a little sweetness to it.
Okay.
But in the beginning of the year, they're usually a little bland.
Agreed.
I still love them, man. I mean, it's my favorite part of summer.
Do you go seedless?
I like seedless.
Okay.
No, I don't keg it. I don't tap it.
Man-made watermelon.
You know, I do have to shout out D-Dubs. Happy birthday, my man. My dad is 79 years old today. He does 120 miles a week on his bike. He looks fantastic. I love you. Thank you for showing me how to live, my man.
Look at that, man. Happy birthday to Mr. Anson Wells. What's his name?
Dale.
It's
D-Dubs.
a strong name.
Yes,
hey,
sir.
Happy anniversary to my wife, Kathy. 26 years today.
On Couples Day.
How about that?
That's right.
Couples Day and Maz celebrating 29. How many years?
26.
26.
Yep.
Has dyslexic right there.
Been together years. About 32.
How's that been? How's that ride been?
Up and down, like always, man. But it's all good. We have love. We got 3 beautiful daughters. Yeah. And when it comes down to it, we got each other's backs.
That's what I'm talking about, man. I love to hear that, man. Speaking of shout out to Soroki's.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
Look what I brought into the studio.
Maz brought something.
The best biscuits in the world right there. Oh,
look what I brought in.
Biscuits are fire.
That's my second.
Fire biscuits. Everybody in the chat, we talk about Soroki's. Hey, I'm telling you, those biscuits. Everybody around here was fighting over those biscuits. I've been excited all day because I'm on this diet. I wish I could grab a biscuit.
The chicken is outstanding.
Yeah.
And the fries, or whatever you want to call them, those beautiful potato wedges.
Man.
And the sauce, the Soroki sauce. I mixed that with a little, they got honey mustard they brought in as well. You mix those up. Really fantastic. Thank you to Soroki's, everyone there.
Here's a good one. You mentioned wedges. You mentioned types of fries. What are your, if you had to rank your top?
I got
it. Your top five. What's your order of
just
fry
fast food or anywhere?
Oh, just types of fries.
Okay.
I'm a steak fry guy.
Steak fries.
Give me old steak fry.
Man.
Potato wedges,
Red
steak
Robin
fry.
Makes a mean steak fry.
You're not kidding.
Red Robin makes a mean steak fry.
You're not kidding.
Yeah.
That's really what hooked me.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, Red Robin hooked me on those steak fries. And unlimited, right?
What?
Keep bringing them.
Keep passing the plate.
Keep bringing them.
Unlike Red Lobster, though, they have enough fries.
They do. They do. Now, McDonald's, of course, probably the most popular fry amongst people.
Yeah.
I put them like in my top 5, but not number 1.
It's a
I might
small
put them
window
at
where
5.
they're great.
Yeah.
If they go by past 5-6 minutes, not so much.
Once they had to switch to, I think it was a type of oil they were using, and they had to switch oils back whenever it was, 2000, 2001. Once they switched after that Super Size Me came out.
He died, the guy.
He died today. Wow.
Yeah,
He did,
53 years old, the director, the producer of that.
The producer of the movie. He died at 50.
He had cancer, and he passed away.
How crazy was that drama?
Yeah.
But yeah, once that came out, they had to change their oil, and their fries became bland. If you go to the airport, DTW has the best McDonald's fries.
Yeah.
Why is that McDonald's so chronic?
So good.
It's so good. I will wait in that line. I will pay $15 for a sausage McMuffin with egg.
It is a long-ass line, though.
And it's like triple cost, but it's worth it.
Yeah, 100%.
It's worth it.
What you got to do is you got to get the app, and you got to order them ahead of time. Order them in the TSA line.
That's that Ann Arbor education right there at work.
You know, this, the leaders are
That's
the
a
best
secret. That's a
secret, man. Little secret, but wedges.
You know, I saw the last time I flew. It was I flew last month. I went to, I forgot. Oh, Nashville.
Okay.
You know who was in line ahead of me?
Dr. Jeff Pierce.
No, not Dr. Jeff Pierce. I got out of his limo ahead of me. I'll give you Ann Arbor as an address.
Oh, okay. Not Jim Harbaugh.
No.
It was Jake Long.
No.
Shoelace.
Who's the big boss? Who's the AD?
Oh, Ward.
Ward Manuel.
We just keep crossing things that have just come off based off saying stuff. Did you hear what came out of the book? What Jim Harbaugh put in that book?
Oh, yeah.
Ryan Ermanni has been calling it.
He said it from day one.
Ryan Ermanni, we got to give you credit. You talked about why Jim Harbaugh did not stay at Michigan. He put it in the book. He put it in the article. The book is to come out a little later.
Yeah.
But an excerpt came out, and he said, undoubtedly, the AD at the University of Michigan, I knew isn't the type of AD that would back me the type of I needed to stay. Ryan Ermanni called it a long time ago.
He wanted to stay. He wanted to stay.
Wow. Ryan called it.
Thank you, Mr. Ward. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Get rid of Harbaugh, bro. Let's go.
He put you guys back on the map.
However, we have to get there. As long as we got a dot.
Everybody reading that, everybody from the regions, from the whoever, from the donors to
son of a gun.
Even kids that are thinking about going to this institution. Ooh.
Doesn't that suck?
Winning national championship and then you get set back 3 years.
It really hurts. As a Michigan guy, to be at the peak and to know you have the best coach in college football, now that Nick Saban is retired, and then to let him walk out, I have no idea what was going through his mind, the AD's mind, Ward Manuel. What a complete dropping of the ball.
Yeah, what a complete dropping of the ball. That's crazy.
Man, I'm over here crying about it.
Speaking of dropping of the ball, there was some movement, if you will, on the Detroit Pistons front yesterday.
Thank goodness.
We've been asking who was going to be the president, the person that was above Troy Weaver to help him make better decisions. We finally got an answer. The answer is from Adrian Wojnarowski, Trajan Langton. The Alaskan assassin from Duke played 2 years in the NBA. Langton has spent the last 5 years building a well-regarded Pelicans roster under President David Griffin. Langton previously worked under Sean Marks with the Brooklyn Nets and player 3 seasons with the Cavs in the NBA. So he started his front office journey, I believe, in 2012. He was a scout with the Spurs, and obviously you see from then he's gone to some places. He's built a resume. He's built a rep, and enough of a rep for Tom Gorse and the Pistons to hire him as the president. Outside of the coolest name, and we will get into some nicknames. There's a special top 10 Friday. I got the top 15 nicknames in NBA history, according to myself. You can agree or disagree. But Trajan Langton, the Alaskan assassin, first thoughts when you see the hire Anson Wells go?
The biggest problem that I think that the Pistons have had with this latest regime is that there's just been too many chefs in the kitchen. Nobody was earmarked to be in charge. You got an owner that nobody really likes, and everybody kind of is wondering what his role is. And then the trickle down. Who's in charge after that? We've seen a coach that's been brought in that doesn't really have full capacity as a coach. We've seen a general manager in the same situation. So bringing in Trajan, I think, from what I'm reading, is going to solve all of that. This is the head man in charge at this point. I love his history. Since 2019, he's got a pretty sterling draft record. He's showing the willingness to trade an absolute superstar and get a haul in return with Anthony Davis. They also had no problem trading to acquire CJ McCollum, somebody who I'm a huge fan of. So I think he's going to fit in with Troy. I think Troy's going to stick around. Yeah. I think those two are going to see eye to eye in making moves, and the willingness to move some of this youth to get some more, a little bit more experience and a little more cohesion in this team. I wouldn't be surprised to see this first-round pick move either. I'm happy with this move. The Pistons needed an identity. They haven't had one in their front office, and now they do.
Yeah, Maz, before I turn over to you, I was just thinking in my head, you look at what he's done the last 5 years, and first thing I think about is what Anson said. You look at that roster that they have. They built a nice roster over the years, whether it was getting rid of Anthony Davis, bringing in Brandon Ingram, bringing in Josh Hart, who we now know is with the Knicks, or they're going to flirt with the idea of getting rid of Zion Williamson. They kept him in the meantime. But where are you at with it? Because, I like the success of the Pelicans. This could be a good move.
Well, here's the kicker, man. This guy's been brought in. He's the president, right? He's the chief, right? Is that the way it's going to be?
So they say.
Troy Weaver will get 1 year with him, and then he's going to bring his own guy in.
Unless they
That's what's going to happen. No. Troy Weaver's got this year.
Lame duck, huh?
And he's done. He's done. Like you said, they'll probably move that first-round pick. Yep. What do you need, another 19-year-old kid here on the roster?
My hunch is this. Do we see a little Kevin McHale syndrome here? Can he reach back and bring Zion here for our number 5 and some other draft picks? How would you guys feel about that?
I've been talking about Zion moving to the Knicks or the Pistons for a long time. And who knows? Maybe they got enough to get him.
Yep.
I'd still like to keep that backcourt that the Pistons have together for at least one more year. I want to see Ivy and I want to see Cade still stay together. I definitely not moving Duren. I think Jalen Duren is terrific. I think they have a nice nucleus of young guys. Now they got to bring in some veterans, and they have some money to make this team from what'd they win last year?
What'd they win? Games, 14, 15.
Okay, that's 2 years in a row that they've won under 20 games. Can you win 30 games for me next year? Can you take that step at least and then move on, get yourself a GM that you could agree with and go for it from there? Now, the heavyweights last night killed this guy. And everything I read is no one trusts the Pistons. Obviously, Ryan says he will never trust them ever again. Considering the ownership, the way they're running with the squad. So, do you trust them? You still have guys like Arn Tellem in the front office. So, that's what scares me. But I'll give this guy the benefit of the doubt. Like you said, he's been putting in his time, and at least they got a guy here with some experience that has learned. And I'm sure he's a smart guy. Let's see what he can do. He's got my support going forward. Let's see what he's got.
It can't get worse, can it?
No.
That's the deal.
Yeah, we say it can't get worse, and it went from 17 to 15. Like, apparently it can get worse with the Detroit Pistons franchise. My only issue is this. Look, I'm not going to put judgment on Trajan Langton. You look at the resume, people have said some good things about him, although people have said some other things. Give him a chance. Like you said, it doesn't matter. My problem is that he's still around people that don't know what they're doing. You bring him in here, Troy Weaver's still here, Arn Tellem's still here, Tom Gores is still the owner, Monty Williams is still the coach. It's still the same system last year, but you're adding one person, and I guarantee they're not going to give him the power that they say they are, making him over Troy Weaver. No, not at all.
See,
I don't believe him.
I still have hope for Troy Weaver.
Oh, my God. Based on what?
Well, so basically what he inherited...
Based on what?
Based on what?
I'll go through it. So when he inherited this roster, he inherited some really terrible contracts of players that weren't even with us.
Understood.
Okay? And then what he did was he took all of these little secondary ancillary pieces, kind of moved them around.
Yeah, how about his draft history?
What's that?
How about his draft history?
I don't have an issue with it. Who do you not like?
The whole first year?
What?
Well, okay, yes. Obviously, Killian Hayes. Killian Hayes is terrible. But we can
and the
go
rest
back
of that
to
class.
Look at Joe Dumars' first year. He took Rodney White. You know?
But we're not talking about Joe Dumars. We're talking about the current administration in which a guy named Troy Weaver drafted Killian Hayes over Tyrese Halliburton.
If you look at their books and the situation
Sadiq
they were in
Bey.
when they
Isaiah Stewart.
When they acquired him, what they have now, basically, they have 6 guys on contract that actually matter. They're their core.
Luke Kennard, how'd that work out for you?
What's that?
Luke Kennard, how'd that work out for you?
He didn't draft Luke Kennard.
I'm just throwing names out there at this point because I can't believe you said this guy's a good
I'm still sick
GM.
about Donovan not being a Piston, man. But listen, I stood up for Joe D when everybody wanted him gone. I'm going to stand up for Weaver right now, too. He was put into an impossible situation with an impossible owner without the real ability to make decisions, and then was forced into a coach that did not vibe with this young team, okay? Where the situation that we enter this offseason in is it's the prettiest one that we've had, and that is because of Troy Weaver's moves. We've acquired a little bit more draft capital than we had because he came in and basically had next to none.
There's nobody to draft. Draft capital doesn't mean anything unless you strike gold like OKC, who got rid of Troy Weaver to draft SGA, to draft Chet, and to draft J-Dub. My thing is this. What about Boyan? Okay, we don't even have to talk about the draft because to a certain extent, they're getting terrible positioning, and it doesn't matter who you take in those spots. But what about when you look at they bring in Boyan Bogdanovic?
Should have traded him a year prior.
Hallelujah. Now, you knew where I was going with that. It's just certain moves that at every turn, it just seems like it can't get worse. Makes another dumb decision, Doesn't agree with necessarily a draft pick. If it's not Troy Weaver, then what is it? Is it scouting? Is it developing?
It's trickled down from the ownership, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm not there. The Palace is gone, but I'm not at LCA in the meetings and everything. But it seems like I led off with, there's too many chefs in the kitchen. I believe that both him and Monty have some sort of handcuffs on them. There's moves that they'd love to make. I'm not sure. I'm not there again, but there's the way that this team is run right now. It just seems like there's a 4-headed snake right now, and they don't know what direction to go in. So hopefully Trajan finishes that, fixes that, and brings Troy with him, because I do believe that Troy has talent.
Maz, it seems like Monty Williams is going to – I agree to disagree, but it's fine.
You guys
I like
hate
your
me
points.
right now.
I just said – no, we don't hate you. I just agree
I
to
wish
disagree.
Troy and Monty would leave.
That's what I was going to ask you next.
Yeah.
Where are you with Monty Williams? Last year, it just didn't seem like there was any connection to the players. He held on to Killian over Jaden Ivey for 40 games. I was very confused.
Destroyed Osser's confidence.
Like, destroyed 100%. Like, Monty Williams, like –
Monty needs
cash
to go.
him out.
Monty needs to go.
I wish there was a way to just pay him some of his money. He's a good man.
Take a buyout, man.
Go home to your family. Spend another year at home. He's a great coach. He's just not for this team.
He doesn't even
I don't know who the hell can really coach this team, to be perfectly frank with you.
You're really handicapped with the Detroit Pistons right now. I mean, you got an owner that has money, but he doesn't necessarily get involved. So you're handicapped to the moves you can make. Now you come here, you got a young squad. There's no veteran leadership. You can't get help in the draft because every year you're picking 5th or 4th or 4th or 5th. So it's just a tough spot to really come into. Like, this is a 5-year project.
Yeah.
This is a 5-year project.
The sad thing is there's not a player in the league that wants to play here.
No.
So you either have to pay all this money and get 2 players that really just are here for the money. And you can go back to Charlie Villanueva and who was the guy that came with them?
Ben Gordon.
Ben Gordon. And how'd that work out? It didn't. They spent their money that they had, but they got 2 guys that really didn't help them. So I don't know what they can do. They're going to probably have to trade out of that core of 5 guys that they have. They probably got to trade 2 of them, 2 good young men, rookies, 2 young 2-year veterans to somebody. And I think that would suck, but you got to have to.
You have to do it.
And then you're holding the player here that you bring here, you're holding him like he's a hostage.
Yeah.
Because who the hell wants to come here?
This is very true. Very true. You brought up Ben Gordon and Charlie Villanueva. Thinking about some former Pistons. Well, today is the 20th anniversary of Tayshaun Prince and the famous block. The block heard around the world. I mean, this is the most flawless block in NBA history. And I understand LeBron on it was Iguodala, the infamous block that got them that championship.
That was great, too.
But this one was,
let's go back 20 years ago, Pete. Play it.
People, play it. You'll get a feel for it.
He lost the handle. Tinsley, Reggie Miller. And it's blocked again. What a block. How did Prince get there?
What a block! I didn't think there was any way possible for him to get this shot. Reggie Miller had a
The dunked it, Reggie.
Like, this also plays.
he can get to this ball.
Now, in the Reggie career is a balance at the college. But to your point, the confidence. Reggie never saw him. He came from the blind spot, perfect execution, got up, didn't touch Reggie at all. Like this,
he wasn't a big dunker, Reggie.
True.
The way he shot that shot is the way he shot most of his breakaways.
That was like an Angel Reese layup.
Yeah.
I want to see the finals, though, dunk the ball.
Yeah, 100%. But
what happens if that game doesn't? What happens?
We lose. We're not the
But you know what's so
champions
crazy?
in 04.
You know what's so
How
crazy?
do you know?
That was game 6.
That was game 6.
They would have won.
But there was still time left.
No, we would have lost that game if he hits that. Absolutely.
Momentum. Yeah, to your
We
point.
don't have a ring in 04 without that block. That is a championship
No,
block right there.
It was amazing.
In fact, we actually, at my house, we've got that with his jersey and that exact photo signed. It's one of my most treasured memorabilia.
That play set the tone for the rest of the playoffs because when the other Pistons saw that, they're saying, this is a guy that's legitimately willing to do everything he can to win the game for us. So now it's like, shoot, I got to be willing to do everything I can. They played very differently after that block.
As a second-year player, Tayshaun, too.
Did you see that score at the time?
It's like 67 to 69.
Freaking low it was.
Every time I say
that's first half now.
Yeah,
that's the first half.
100%.
Man, that was a great day. I had to put that in there for you guys.
Glad you did.
Well, you know, it was another great day last night for the Celtics and Jaylen Brown. We've been saying that he is the number one on this team. Last night, he goes for 40, and they beat the Indianapolis Pacers by 16. Before we really get into the game, first question I'm asking, Maz, you know what it's going to be. Rick Carlisle, with 9 minutes and 26 seconds left in the game, he set his stars. He said Pascal Siakam, who finished the game with 28 points. Finished the game with 28 points and set the last 9 minutes. Miles Turner, who also was having an okay type game, sits the last. And Tyrese Halliburton, who was just off last night, he sits him as well. What's going on with Rick Carlisle? Like, we give him all this credit as he deserves for being a great coach. You have game 1, not saying the foul. You have game 2, benching your players when they were still in the game. I don't know, man. What's up with Rick Carlisle?
I don't know, man. But you know what? A 20-0 run. What the hell, man? A 20-0 run? How do you allow that in a playoff game? How do you allow that? He has not been at his best, can we say, in the first 2 games, how they piddled away game 1, and how do you allow a 20-0 run to happen? I mean, the Pacers, it's obvious. They're cooked. They're cooked. The under did hit, though.
The under did hit. My parlay, not so much. I actually had Jaylen Brown over 35. I had them to cover the spread. I had Al Horford to hit two threes. He only had 0. But that's neither here nor there. Watching the game last night, that Pacers squad, man, you start to go back to look at some of the things that happened against New York. He's sitting in 78 plays. A lot has been going on with Rick Carlisle and his teams when they're not having success. And last night, it was just another example of, I don't know.
Yeah, I've always seen Rick Carlisle as a stepping stone coach. It's what the Pistons used in 02 and 03 before they brought in Larry and won a championship.
But to your point, kind of seemed like that championship was like lightning in the bottle. Like everything hit at the right time. It wasn't necessarily
two,
just
though.
Rick Carlisle. Exactly.
Should have been 2. And I still don't know how this guy won a ring with Dallas, but you see mistakes out of him.
Dirk Nowitzki had the best playoff run I've ever seen with my own 2 eyes.
And Jay Kidd was on his game in that series as well.
Jason Terry.
Yeah. I just don't really understand. It feels like Rick gets emotional sometimes.
Yeah.
One of my favorite times was heckling him when he came back, and he was right in front of me. I said, Rick, why does everyone hate you? And he turned and he looked right at me and he said, I don't know. And he was never fully embraced here by the front office in Detroit. He's been chased out of multiple jobs. He's an emotional player, and I believe that he's an emotional coach, and we've seen that play out when they've won and when they've lost. I'm waiting for you to ask me about Jason Tatum, though.
We'll get to Jason Tatum. Maz, I want to expand on that a little bit. You talk about Rick Carlisle being an emotional coach. I think sometimes when players need to know that a coach is dialed in differently than they're dialed in. Players don't want a coach to be so emotional. They don't want a coach that looks like he doesn't necessarily know what the next move is. Anson brings up a good point, man. Maybe that's what these young players, because they are young, are feeding into.
Well, if they looked at the way he coached the last 2 games, they're not going to have much confidence in him. But let's face it, he helped build that Pistons team that Larry Brown took over. And he won a championship against was it against the Heat, right?
Yeah, it was.
Was that Riley or was that Spoelstra?
Spoelstra. It was first.
That was Spoel. That's the first time around.
Riley made the move in 06 or 07. Still that ring.
So he delivers, man. He's a terrific coach. And yeah, sure, he wears out his welcome once in a while, but he's got Dallas right where they want to be. And Dallas. He's got the Pacers right where he wanted to be. They beat the Knicks, man. They went into the Garden and they blew out the New York Knicks in Game 7. And then in Game 1, they should have beat the Celtics. Absolutely. And that's when he ceased to become Rick Carlisle. I don't know what the hell happened to the guy in the last minute of that game and to allow a 20-0 run to happen in Game number 2. But he has seemed to have lost his way, and it might cost him his job.
Yeah, you know what? It's very funny. My girl said that after Game 1, she said plays like that it cost him his job.
Yep.
I told her the rhetoric that you told me. No, he helped build the Pacers. The furthest they've been, he was a coach both times. Yep. After I watched Game 2, I was like,
maybe he's just lost his way. It looks like
stone.
Yeah, coach. It looks like he is like overmatched now.
Yep.
There was somebody that bought out last night. His name was Jason Tatum. I mean, another unbelievable game by him. 40 points. I think he had 5 and 6 was after that rebounds and assists. Jason Tatum. He's the guy we've been talking about for this squad. He's the number 1 option on this team. He is the superstar that is about to receive a $370+ million extension after this season. He just looks like a guy. And last night, it was another game where now you're watching him a little bit more. He just looks like a guy. Last night, 23, 6, and 5. And look, those are good stats if you're the second option, third option, like 23, 6, and 5. I'll let you take it from here.
Who are people talking about after Game 1 and 2? What player?
Jaylen Brown.
That's right. Hits a shot, puts them into overtime, saves their skin, and then comes out and puts up 40. You know, Tatum has put up awesome games. You know, he's got 9 assists to 8 turnovers, which you don't love. He's shot under 50%, and he's just not the guy we're talking about right here. You and I, for weeks, you've been asking me, is Tatum a superstar?
Yeah.
And, you know, it's honestly very, it reminds me of that Cleveland series. As great as LeBron's statistics were, I felt that it was Kyrie that won them that championship. Right. And we're looking at the same thing right now with Jason Tatum putting up great lines, but it's Jaylen Brown that when it gets to that moment, he's the guy that's getting them over the top.
Man, I feel like, you know, we've been harping on him a lot. Maybe we're unfair to Jason Tatum. I mean, you look at the average numbers. He's 38 in Game 1 or 36 in Game 1, 25 Game 9. So you put that, he's somewhere around 28, 29. He's playing good basketball.
He's a first-team All-Pro, right? First-team All-NBA.
Allegedly.
He better. He better be putting these numbers up. But, you know, the dynamic duo came through, right?
Yeah, this is true.
And the Celtics look like they've...
But who's Batman and who's Robin?
He's still Batman.
Okay.
Tatum's still Batman.
Is this series over, Maz? It's
over. I said it was over in Game 1, and then I backtracked yesterday for some stupid reason.
It's going back 2-2. It's going back Boston 2-2. You know that.
Oh, yeah, sure it is.
How much money does the NBA make going down 3-0 when nobody wants to buy tickets to Game 4 or watch it?
I don't know if anybody wants to watch it now.
Oh, you watch Game 3.
They already lost all
their
their money when the Knicks lost. There's no money to be made in this series. None.
We will see.
All right, series is over. There's another game tonight.
Series is over. Did you guys say that? Man, all right. You guys said that the Pacers were done in the first round after they lost Game 1. This series is not over,
the Pacers,
gentlemen.
First of all, the Pacers would have been done if the Knicks didn't keep running out of players. Who started the last game? 3 people in the front row and Halliburton?
They won, didn't they? It wasn't over. I'm just telling you guys. When we come back next week, you guys are going to have a little bit of a different story.
All I have to say is look at the team they beat in the Knicks. Look what the Knicks had. They had a Jalen Brunson for a little bit. Then he became a one-legged Jalen Brunson. Then he became a one-hand Jalen Brunson. They had 3 guys in that starting rotation that are not usually starters. And somehow they took them to Game 7.
Second team All-Pro over
the
Kyrie
Pacers,
Irving, you mean, Brunson?
100% he should have been over Kyrie Irving. Do you realize after Julius Randle got hurt, the last 30 games of the season, he averaged 31 points? Like, he got that team to the playoffs and then the second round of the playoffs. So don't sleep. Don't sleep.
Don't sleep on Kyrie.
Don't sleep. But you look at Celtics last night, this series is over with. Looks like they're trying to finally gel. Jaylen Brown is playing outstanding. They're getting good help out of their role players, too.
Is that why you wore green today?
No, I wore green because I love olive. I love the color olive.
Because I love olive.
100%. What's wrong with olive?
So you're not a black olive guy? You're a green olive guy?
Hey, man, I'm the olive that looks good
on me. You like
them
both?
Black looks good on me, and olive looks good on me. What are you talking about?
He's talking about the olives you eat.
Oh, nah, I don't eat no black olive.
Both colors look great on you, Braylon.
Appreciate that, man. Gotta defend this shirt. This shirt is fire.
It sure is. Green looks especially good on you, I must say.
Shout out to the Jets. Jets. Jets.
Well played.
You're never getting that Michigan State love.
Well played, my friend.
Yeah, you look at the Celtics, the series seems to be over. Jaylen Brown's playing like this. Jason Tatum still playing good basketball. But are they now a team that you look at as like, all right, it's coming through the parquet floor, or is still what we talked about yesterday in Dallas, who plays tonight game 2 against the Timberwolves?
You know what? The league just seems ready to anoint either Tatum or Luka. I don't think that it's one of these young upstart teams. And Boston's just so deep. They've got home court. They've got the lore, you know. So
they got a man on the bench that's not even playing and waiting for his turn, and that is Kristaps Porzingis as well.
Yeah, Kristaps, we will see him in the finals.
Yeah, you will. He averaged 21 points a game during the season. That's nothing to sneeze at. Maz T-Wolves down 1-0.
So if they go down 2-0, is that series over too, Bray?
I'm glad you asked that question. Look, let's take a break. We'll get a message from Swiss, and then when we come back, we'll answer that question because it is a good one. Gotta get answered too.
Everybody, now more than ever, it's critical for you to have your insurance reviewed, and Swiss Insurance will make sure that your carrier is not slipping in extra fees. Call Mark at Swiss Insurance today at 313-530-1698 or visit SwissINS.com. Over to Braylon.
Now, Planet Fitness, $10 a month like it always has been, where your fitness is essential. You come to Planet Fitness, you get in a great workout, you feel good about yourself. But the best thing about it is there's no judgment because it's home of the judgment-free zone. Work out at your own pace. Do the things that you want to do. Nobody's bothering you or stopping you. And also, they have a 30-minute total body workout in the middle of the gym. All you got to do is show up. They'll tell you exactly what to do. The clock's ready to start. Start your workout. Planet Fitness. Your fitness is essential.
Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Hamp for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
What's up, everybody? Neil Rule, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, home of the Planet Fitness Studios. Let me tell you a little personal story about myself with Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness helped me change my life, and it can do the same for you. The best gym in the gym game. The clean facilities, tons of cardio equipment, tons of weights as well. And look, through all the price increases, inflation, all that hasn't happened at Planet Fitness. Still $1 down, $10 per month, $24.99 a month for the Black Card as well. It's Planet Fitness, everybody, where your fitness is essential.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to the people. That's exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Stanford, Buick, and GMC. The same great service that customers have come to know and trust on Woodward just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today at lesstanford.com. lesstanford.com. Together, let's drive. All right, welcome back to the next segment of the show. Funny story. So on Tuesday, when we're doing the show, Anson was in on Tuesday. We're doing the show. Maz, everybody's here. I randomly brought up Trajan Langton's name. Like we were talking about Duke. I was talking about everybody hates Duke, and I said even Trajan Langton, that had the coldest nickname ever, the Alaskan Assassin. I said I had to hate him because he went to Duke. And then we find out 2 days later
Manifest,
that he is. So I'm going to manifest this real quick. Money Mike, Maz, Joe, Pete, Anson Wells, myself and my girl, we're manifesting $1 million.
Yeah.
Each and every one of us right there. I'm putting that in
Hey,
there. You have to put that
I'll
in.
split the
And
million.
my mom as well. I know mom's listening too. I got to put $2 million for mom.
Let's split the million. I don't care.
Let's split it.
That's
Hey,
fine,
we
man.
get it, we split it.
Let's go.
100%.
Let's take that money to preseason New York Giants Lions. We going.
Ooh.
Let's do it.
Let's put that
Let's
in
rock.
there, man.
You can
So
stay with my family.
putting that in the air
man.
for all
I'm
of the
in.
listeners
Free room and
and the
board.
watchers as well. Before we went to break, we talked about the Timberwolves are now playing the Dallas Mavericks tonight, game 2. Timberwolves down 1-0 to the Mavericks. They played extremely well to the tune of Kyrie getting off to a fast start, 24 points in the first half, and then Luka kind of finishing the game in the second half with his big performance, getting in the paint and being dominant against the bigs of the Wolves. People forget Luka slows the game down to his pace, and he's also not a small guy at all. But you asked me about, do I think if the Timberwolves go down 2-0, is this series over? Like I think the Pacers and the Celtics is. No, and the difference is Coach Finch isn't making the same type of mistakes and things that I believe Rick Carlisle is, and putting his players in bad spaces and putting them in it, not knowing how to break things up right now. He's not helping his guys out. Finch isn't necessarily doing that. Finch's guys are just exhausted. They bit off a little bit more than they can chew, and they just got beat in games 1. So if this happens again, and also you look at the guys on the team, Anthony Edwards, man. It's Anthony Edwards, Ant-Man Edwards. We saw what he's done this whole playoffs, this whole season. And Cat, when he wants to play basketball, when he wants to get to the rim, he is a dominant force as well. So I just think it's 2 different situations.
Yeah, and that was their game with 1.5 minutes left.
It was.
It really was.
Yeah.
But keep in mind, this is the same team that won 3 games on the road in the second round to advance. So they certainly can win on the road.
T-Wolves tonight. I just put $50 on them about 5 minutes ago.
That's what I'm talking about, Tom Mazaway.
Put $50. I got about
What's the
120
spread?
in my account. 4.5.
Okay, 4.5.
You take them straight up?
I'm laying a 4.5.
Oh, okay.
Minnesota will cover tonight.
Okay.
They will win that game. They will dominate from start to finish. And they're going to win the series. I don't know if it's going to be 6 or 7, but they're going to win the series.
Man,
you hope or you think?
Right?
Pardon?
You hope or you think?
No.
I think they're going to win.
Okay.
I think they're going to win the whole damn thing.
Oh, wow.
You know what, Maz? Let's stick with that. You said they're going to be dominant tonight. What looks like dominant for the Timberwolves? How will they dominate this
Start to finish.
Gotcha.
Start to finish. You don't give up at the end of the game like they did the other day. They gave that game away.
This is true.
They controlled that game.
Hold Dallas.
They
under
gave it
100.
away. And remember the 2 big guys, Luka and Kyrie, 30 apiece. You can't allow that to happen again. You cannot allow both those guys to have 30 and change against you. And Anthony Edwards only had 19 the other day. I know he had a pretty good game, but he's got to be up near 30 points himself tonight, and he will.
Maz, I love the confidence in your voice. Look, you talked about the Dallas Mavericks yesterday, but you were on the side of the Timberwolves as well.
Yep.
You believe in the Timberwolves. I like that. I like it as well. I'm vowing for Anthony Edwards. I told you, if they lose 2, I still believe that they'll make it a series.
Mm-hmm.
The problem for me is Dallas is doing an amazing job of their stars, at least in game 1. It's only been game 1. But Kyrie and Luka are different players. They're much different than Jokic. They're much different than Michael Porter and Aaron Gordon, how they put the ball on the floor. Like, Kyrie is an excellent ball handler, pause. He's an excellent ball handler. He knows how to get guys off their feet, off their mark. He knows how to put guys in the blender. Anytime he touches the ball, he's dangerous, whether he's assisting or passing. Luka can do the same in terms of dominant. When you play against the Nuggets, after Jokic, none of those players, as you told me, as you so effortlessly told me, none of those players can affect you like these 2 can. They might be in a situation they bit off a little bit more than they can chew.
Yeah, you mean Dallas?
I'm talking about, Minnesota.
Yeah. Listen, you're going against 2 of the superstars in the NBA, 2 all-pros. I'm sorry, they should be both be. When you look at these guys as well as the Celtics, they have players. They're the only 2 teams that have players that have been this far.
Yeah.
Experience just means so much in the NBA playoffs. And you watch that. Again, Minnesota had that game in hand. They should have won that game. I felt it was all the experience that was able to get the Mavs in and over them in that game. We're going to see more of that throughout both of these series, and I think that's what it's going to come down to. I would absolutely love to see Anthony Edwards in the finals. I think he's still a year away from that, though. It's just going to be too hard to beat those two guys when one doesn't have to be great because the other one will be.
Yeah, this is true. I mean, experience, man, that seems to be the key. You look at the Celtics versus the Pacers. The Celtics have been here before. They've been to the finals twice.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you look at the series tonight, Kyrie Irving has been here. Luke has been to the Western Conference Finals before. But this Minnesota team, they're new to the party.
Correct. They're new. And you know what? They're new, and they're ready to take over. They are one of the best teams in that Western Conference, and they're just starting to show, man. Ant-Man, as you call him, he's going to be a top 5 player. He's going to be a top 5 player. To me, he is an NBA all first team guy. I told you I would make the switch.
You did say that.
Put him in there. It's his time, man. It's his time to shine. NBA, start taking a liking to the T-Wolves. Alex Rodriguez will be the owner here pretty soon as well.
Speaking of time to shine, Maz, is it Connor McDavid's time to shine?
You tell me. Scored the game winner last night.
My favorite player
the game
in
winner
hockey,
last night.
Edmonton Oilers. Connor McDavid scores the game winner in the second overtime.
32 seconds in.
32 seconds, and also they win 3-2. So there you go, the number 32. Put money on that number tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
They got the jump on the Dallas Stars. So Dallas, the hockey team lost, but the basketball team won. We'll see how it goes for the next game. But the Oilers, they needed to get that first game, and they did.
We were talking about it. We had Ken Holland on the show. Congrats, Ken Holland. It's game 1, but you guys got it done. We talked about how could they beat this Dallas Stars team who had excellent goaltending, who's been on fire lately right now. They win 3-2. How did they win that game last night, man? Or how did they get to overtime?
They got lucky because Dallas hit a post. It was literally by their goaltender, Skinner. But it hit a post, came right out underneath his leg, and he was able to sit down on the puck instead of kicking it in with the skate. That saved the bacon right there. And then they play a great overtime, both of them very tight. Second overtime, it usually happens early or it happens way at the end. So it happened in the first 32 seconds. Best player in hockey, Connor McDavid, put it home for the Oilers, and they lead 1-0 for Canada, trying to win their first Stanley Cup since 1993.
You know what sucks about Connor McDavid? I'm going to relate this to you. I know you're not really a
ice soccer guy?
Ice hockey guy. But
ice soccer?
Excuse me. Connor McDavid is the best player in hockey. Nobody's debating that. We all know that he is. He's just sucked that he's in the market in Edmonton Oilers that you just really don't get a chance to see him, and even unless it's in the Western Conference Finals. It's like Mike Trout. And Mike Trout was buried for years with the Angels, man. And the best player for years in baseball, he's buried with the Angels, and you don't really know it. It sucks when you get these players in these small markets, Anson.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the deal is with Connors being amazing at hockey, but that seems to be the name. You know, I can't go too far into the ice soccer. You guys know I'm not well versed on it, but when I was a kid, the Oilers, that was the big deal. So even though it's a small market, when you see royalty teams come back and be great again, I love that kind of stuff. So I'm pulling for the Oilers. Man, I still hate the Dallas Stars from going back to the 90s and early 2000s when they were good, you know? So the North Stars they once were, that's right. But no, I'm about done on ice soccer. That's all I got.
I feel you like that. But Maz, I'm not done on ice soccer as one Anson Wells likes to call it because the Rangers down.
I got another $50 to put on them.
There it is. Speak. Game 2 tonight. Florida leads the series 1-0.
But why don't you bet against them? Either way, you win.
No, I don't, because I'm not a big Ranger fan.
Okay.
That's my least favorite New York team.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I hated them growing up, and now I'm just an adult. I don't hate them anymore. But, you know, I don't root for them, but I'm not rooting against them either. Florida, I like. Tonight, the Rangers are going to win. So here's your lock tonight, guys. Parlay the Rangers. Just bet them straight up. And bet the T-Wolves straight up. There's your parlay. Rangers, Timberwolves, parlay. I don't know what it is.
What would that plus be?
But I love that.
Here we go.
I love that. Find that out for me, Bray.
Let's see. I'm on the show.
I'm going to
right
bet
now.
that too.
So if the Rangers don't make it, don't you want old school to prevail?
Old school?
The Oilers, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
I'm rooting for the Oilers. I want Kenny Holland to win a championship.
Oh, even over the Rangers?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
cool.
want the Oilers to win the championship.
Me too. Not that I care
I want to bust my
friends. Like
I want to bust my friends' chops back in Jersey.
There you go.
1940 was their last Stanley Cup until 1994 when they beat my Devils in 7. Then they beat Vancouver to win the Stanley Cup. So it's been since 1994 to now. So it's another 30 years that the Rangers have not won a Stanley Cup. So if it could be 31, I'll laugh at them even more.
Yeah.
Plus 456 on
nice.
Plus 456.
So 100 wins you 450.
Yeah.
10 wins you
bad.
45.
It's not bad.
I'll take it.
You know what, man?
That's my bet tonight.
I may have to put a little bit on that.
Get on that right now, boys.
I'm
Straight up wins.
No betting.
I'll bet on basketball, but I am not betting on hockey, gentlemen.
Not betting on hockey.
way.
What was I looking at? Something else. Lions OTAs, they continue, but I'm getting done tired with OTAs. Like, unless we don't get good sound, man.
We got a little sound.
See, that's the tease. We got the sound.
Yeah, we do.
There we go. Set us up, Maz.
Carlton Davis yesterday was talked to by a group of reporters, of course, out at Allen Park. Our old friend Corey Woods caught up with Corey Davis, and he asked him his assessment of the rookies, Terry and Arnold and Ennis Rakestraw. Here's what he had to say.
Has been limited, but what has been your early assessment of the way Arnold and Rakestraw have carried themselves?
I mean, TA, he got just a ton of confidence. He's so loud, but he has that good spirit. It's good energy around. Haven't been able to get too much around 15 yet, so I'm still feeling him out. He's been hurt. He's a little bit more quiet to himself, but I know he'll open up when we get to mesh a little bit more. But I think they have a good future, especially with the guys in our room. It's a lot of good guys. There's no guys who's really trying to hold back because they don't want to not compete. Everybody wants to compete. Everybody wants the best for each other, and it should be a good time.
There you go, Carlton Davis, the veteran of the Lions cornerbacks, the defensive backs, saying that these kids are the real deal. They got a lot to learn, but they got a great guy to learn from.
Yeah, you got a great guy in Carlton Davis. We saw what he could do here in this very building, downtown Ford Field, in the playoffs from round 2. It's always good when you have leadership, when you always have a guy that's a veteran, that's been there, that's done it at a level. I think you got two guys that are coming in, and Terry and Arnold, and this Rakestraw. They can flat out play. One got signed to Alabama, should have went to Alabama, decided to go to Missouri to build his own thing, and the other went to Alabama and just became another notch in Nick Saban's belt as a lot of great defensive backs. You got guys like that that'll listen to a guy like that. See, it's just about getting on the same page. Those guys coming in and compete, but at the same time, listen, I think they got a shot. And this could be surprisingly come from the worst position on the Detroit Lions, maybe to one of its best.
From a weakness to a strength. Rakestraw is, somebody that I didn't really see us ending up with. I didn't want us to take him in the first round. It really sounds like this guy is going to be a Lion that is loved here in Detroit. I'm a little disappointed that neither one of these guys are taking part in OTAs. I know that Tyrion's nursing a little bit of an injury. I'd like to get a little bit more work for these two, but it seems like they are so skilled at this point that they don't necessarily need an OTA, Our big three are sitting out, our big three rookies. So Jameer, Laporta, as well as Branch are all going to be sitting out. And, of course, Ragnow and Decker are as well. But otherwise, this team, the guys that need to get in there are going to be in there. We're going to get a chance to look at a lot of these later round picks. I know everybody is anxious to get a look at Manu. But I'm excited. It seems like Carlton Davis has really embraced his role here as a leader of this new look secondary and gets to kind of be a father figure and a big unk to these two guys coming in.
Yeah, and let me, for all the people out there that aren't familiar with OTAs, so everybody's not panicking with certain people sitting out. OTAs is just really like film study, it's lifting weights, just being there. They do have some practices, but
official team activities?
Official team, unofficial, in quotes, team activities. They do go out there and practice, but just helmets and jerseys. So
big helmets.
100% the padded helmets, which now you have the option if you want to use them during the regular season, I do believe.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just a simple space, getting guys healthy, getting guys back, the guys that are coming off the season, and then also the guys that you got to think, these young guys, the rookies, they've had a whole football season in Alabama. Mizzou actually wasn't bad last year. They've had a whole football season. Then they got ready for the combine. So now they're training January till April pretty much when they get drafted. And now when they come in, a lot of these guys are worn down a little bit. So it's not a big thing. It's just getting guys back, putting the maintenance on them. They'll be fine once minicamp starts.
Hey, Dan Campbell's also asked today, hey, Dan, is it like a Super Bowl or bust year for you? He's like, look, it's not bust. It's Super Bowl. Our goal is to win the Super Bowl. Our guys are here. Everyone's here. Everyone is healthy. Everyone is getting ready together. It's to start over again. You've got to do all the little things, and we do. And we're going to be ready. And they're gonna be a problem, man. They really are. Like we said, they nearly have a perfect roster. Don't know about the backup quarterback yet. It's Hendon Hooker right now with Nate Sudfeld as the number 3 guy. We just got to keep Jared Goff up and healthy. I'm going to knock wood. And that's it.
Now, let me ask you both a question. I know that all 32 teams, when they start that season, they have one goal, and that's winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But realistically, last season, to start, the Lions must have kind of been like, okay, we just need to win the division. We got to make the playoffs. Let's win it. Let's win a game. Now, were they saying it's Super Bowl or bust? I don't think they were. I think that they wanted to take those steps that they took last year and get where they got. But I think that there's a completely different attitude in Allen Park right now where it is Super Bowl or bust. And it's never been that way here.
The way it should be every year.
100%.
That's the way it should be every year. But now the Lions have the team. They have the front office to be able to do so.
Yes.
I love the fact that he says it's not Super Bowl or bust. It's Super Bowl. The reason why I love it, don't add something else. Don't add another word. Don't add another thought process. The thought process is Super Bowl.
Manifest.
That's the thought. Speaking of manifestation, you're manifesting this Super Bowl. Don't put the but out there or out there. Don't put that one out there. The Lions are built, and we believe this, they're built in a way that they won't just get back to the NFC Championship. They will get to the Super Bowl. And when they get to the Super Bowl, last year, if the Lions would have made the Super Bowl,
W.
Tom Mazaway.
Hey, listen, he said we got to win as many games as possible, get the highest seed as possible. He's not messing around.
Yeah.
He is saying the exact words. But if you remember when they lost to the 49ers, and he put us all in our place, and he says, we might not get back here again. We might not get back here again. That was at the lowest of lows.
Yeah.
Now he's a new man again. It is May. It's ready to turn the clock to summer here in just a few weeks. And he is locked in. I wouldn't want to have any other coach coaching my guys. I love Dan Campbell and his staff, and I love the team that Brad Holmes has put together for us. And what I mean by us, I mean all us Lions fans.
That's right.
Because we're here to stay now. We're going to be in the same breath as San Francisco and the old Seattle teams, the Dallas Cowboys back in the day, so on and so forth, moving forward. The Kansas City Chiefs, of course, the New England Patriots of the old days, 20 straight years, you knew they were going to be first place or second place. That's where the Lions are right now. And you know what? The Packers and Bears are right on their hinds. So they've got to really stay a step ahead of them as best as they can.
You know, you bring this up. You say we all believe in the Lions now. We all have faith. We all believe that they're this team. Whenever you see a list, Lions are in the top 5, or players are in the top 3, or insert schedule that says Lions this or analyst that says that. That has happened in the span of 3 years. Really in the span of a strong 2.
Amazing.
A strong 2. Is there anything that could happen this season that could take you backwards on your faith and your belief in the Detroit Lions?
Injuries. It wouldn't take the faith away, but injuries would hurt them because they do have a phenomenal roster, and their depth is pretty good. Still need more.
What if they went 9-8?
They won't.
But it's not. It's an if thing.
So if they go 9-8 and get in the playoffs like the New York Giants did back in the day and beat the Patriots, I'll be fine with that too.
We're talking about the Detroit Lions, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything can still happen, gentlemen.
And that's more so, I think, what I was asking.
Anything can happen to any team then.
Sure.
It's not the old Lions anymore, man. That's what I've been trying to tell you. So don't say that.
You got all of Detroit's been trying to tell me that.
Don't say that.
Okay, I didn't say it. He's asking
so
what
don't say anything can happen. It's not anything
Injuries
can happen. They're different now.
And history.
Forget history. History's over.
I sure hope you're right. And it feels like it. But if you're asking me, and I'm answering honestly, beyond injuries, history could catch up with this team. I don't believe in that anymore. I think that
Shut his mic off again, Mike. Mike off. We don't need that crap in the universe.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
You can leave it off for a little bit, Mike, man.
Jeez.
Leave it off for a little bit. No, turn it back on. We're just joking. Yeah, I just asked the question just to pose it. I mean, this is a team that has been plagued by season after season of defeat and misery. And they've had 2 really good years. So it's just a question. It's like, is there anything that you can do? Maz says, hell no. He believes in the regime. So do I. You say more so.
I don't think it happens.
You like Murphy's Law, if it can happen.
If it did happen, it wouldn't be shocking.
I'm
sorry, but everybody in Detroit who's ever been a fan of this team understands what it is to be shocked and let down by this team. This regime feels totally different, and I'm so ready to embrace BNL. But it can still happen here in Detroit, guys. Shut his mic off. Shut my mic off,
Yeah,
guys.
you keep your mic on. I'm telling you, I saw 750,000 people. Not all for the Lions, but majority were. And
I'm just saying,
they'd be
man.
different than you. They would be definitely disappointed.
You can't possibly look at what this team has become in the last 3 years and still talk about when Steve Mariucci coached them or Marty Morningweg coached them or insert coach here. You cannot
Chuck
compare it. You can't, Anson. You're talking about a different.
You
You're
better
talking
watch
literally
out.
about a different
This
franchise.
chat's about to blow up. And feel free to go at Anson, ladies and
That's
gentlemen.
fine. That's fine. I mean, we need
This
some
ain't the
engagement
same franchise, man.
It is, though.
No, it's not. It's like
But it is.
It's like
They still wear the same colors. They still play in the same stadium that only hosted playoff games 1 year in its existence.
2-0.
Sure.
2-0.
Sure. In all 2 playoff games in 20 years.
That's fine.
I'm
not counting 20 years.
A win
I'm counting
is a win.
2
I
years.
don't think it's going to happen. But this is still the Lions, gentlemen. And if you're going to ask me what could happen that would ruin this season, I'm going to tell you right now. It's that.
Well, you just almost ruined the show.
But honestly, if he's right and it's injuries,
Take a quick
that
break,
would be the
man.
Lions, right?
Right.
If the Lions fell apart because of injuries and we missed the playoffs, that would be as SOL as it gets.
Yeah.
Oh, I said those 3 letters. Chat about to blow up.
Anyway, this man has clearly lost his ever-loving mind over here.
Don't.
And we
How
have
do
to,
you compare it?
And we have to tolerate it.
Charlie Batch ain't here.
You know, shout out to Charlie Bass. I loved me some Charlie Bass.
He won a Super Bowl.
Eastern Michigan.
Not
Let's
for
go.
us.
No, for the Silks. 100%.
We love C. Batch and the Batch Foundation.
You guys
They're
are
in Pittsburgh,
hilarious.
though.
Today is a Top 10 Friday, am I not correct?
Oh!
Whoa. Top 10 Fridays actually will be a top 15 today. Got some interesting things on the docket. I think I'll wait to tell you after this commercial break what the topics are and who the players are. But first, let's get a message from Woodward Sports Merch.
That's right, everybody. Head right now over to shop.woodwardsports.com.
That's right.
And get yourself some of the latest Detroit sports wearables, including all the hoodies, the tees, and the hats that are guaranteed to turn heads. Maybe you can find yourself a bandana and go stuff it in Maz's mouth to keep him quiet. But you can go right now to shop.woodwardsports.com right now and get yourself some of the latest Detroit sports merch. Now, unfortunately, over to Maz.
I wish everyone would take their pets from this next spot I'm going to talk about and let them go into Pete and do bad things to him, bite him, do whatever. I'm talking about the best pet store in Michigan. It's PremierPetSupply.com. You know it, family-owned and operated for over 30 years, 13 Metro Detroit locations, over 60 brands of food at the lowest prices available, curbside delivery, nutritionists on call. They've got it all for you, and they are super stocked. You know it. It's PremierPetSupply.com.
Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Hamp for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
What's up, everybody? Neil Rule, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, home of the Planet Fitness Studios. Let me tell you a little personal story about myself with Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness helped me change my life, and it can do the same for you. The best gym in the gym game. The clean facilities, tons of cardio equipment, tons of weights as well. And look, through all the price increases, inflation, all that hasn't happened at Planet Fitness. Still $1 down, $10 per month, $24.99 a month for the Black Card as well. It's Planet Fitness, everybody, where your fitness is essential.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda. A chef for Lola, really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody! A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
You heard me earlier, they came in the studio and they dropped off some of those biscuits and some of that chicken. The chicken is fire, and so is the sauce this season. And for a limited time only, the Nashville Hot is back. Talking about Soroki's, we appreciate you guys here at Woodward Sports. The guys in the back, they loved it. Some of the guys in the studio as well. You got to remember, though, it is hot. It does have that heat to it, but it's fire. And also, if you don't like that, then we're still known for the crispy chicken. But the best thing on the menu, ladies and gentlemen, you know what it is? It's the biscuits. You don't do yourself a favor and get a biscuit or two. Blame's on you. Nashville Hot. All right. I'm excited about this one. Top 10. I'm excited about this one, man. Welcome.
I got waiting for me afterwards.
Oh, you got one sitting over there? Welcome back. Ermanni Edwards with Maz. Second hour of the show.
Joel's laughing at me because he sees me eating my biscuit. He's like, Maz, you even using your teeth?
Oh, my God.
Oh, that is a damn good biscuit. Woo!
Maz, you use no teeth. Whoa. Pause. Hey, that's what you said, Joe. I was reading what you said, brother. Hey, bro, what?
Oh, boy.
Heard they call that gummy at the
old
God. Folks home. All right. Soroki. That chicken is good, and so is the biscuits. But getting back on track, top 10 Friday. We're going to do top 15. We'll do top 15 coldest nickname in NBA history. Just mine. I got a list. Got 15,
All
3
right.
pages, but also
I got a couple in my head that if you don't get on, I'm going to be pissed.
You ready?
Yeah.
Well, you know, since we're doing the nicknames, Money Mike, you might as well put my guy on the back wall. He is number one. You'll see that, ladies and gentlemen. All right, here we go. Let's start backwards. 15 through 11. People put that up there. Here we go. Number 15, Chef Curry. I threw that in there. I feel like you guys in chat will love that. I did that for Maz. There are a couple I thought were better than that. But at the end of the day, it is Steph Curry, so we had to give him some love. Number 14, Clyde the Glide Drexler, one of the coldest names in NBA history. Played with Hakeem Olajuwon at Houston, won a championship with Olajuwon. Clyde was cold, man.
Oh, God, yeah.
Clyde was cold.
My wife loved him. She loved his eyes. He had those soft eyes, right? But he was a killer. Killer.
He's 100% he was a killer. They tried to call him the Jordan Clamper, and we saw how well that fared for him in 1991.
Back in the day when they did play the Pistons for that championship.
1990.
That beginning of that year, they got Buck Williams. Buck Williams was my favorite player with the Nets. So when Buck Williams went to the Blazers, I bet the Blazers in Vegas. I was in Vegas. So I put $50 on them to win. They were 40-1. And they go all the way to the final against the Detroit Pistons.
So this is why you really against the Pistons.
Buck Williams edged Isaiah for Rookie of the Year as well.
Ain't that something? And the Pistons knocked them off. So my money went down to tubes, but I had a good run that year.
There you go.
But the Pistons finished them off.
That's a little known fact you just dropped right there, Anson Wells. Buck Williams did indeed edge Zeke out.
Yeah.
I
forgot
about that.
I hated that as a kid.
Buck Williams. Love Buck.
Here's a fun one for you, Tom Mazaway. Your New York Jets, my New York Jets, they're the only team in AFC, NFC history to win a Super Bowl without winning the AFC Championship.
Interesting.
Good point. Yeah, they won because they were an AFL champion.
100%.
Yeah, they haven't won an NFL championship yet. They have not. The New York Jets.
AFC championship.
They won an AFL championship.
But they haven't won an AFC, is what you're saying.
Correct.
Okay.
The Jets won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, they won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but
as an AFL champion.
Exactly.
Right. I'm just saying they were not part of the NFL yet.
I love it.
They were part of the American Football League.
Well, Philly got their shot in 2019. Maybe it's the Jet shot. Maybe
We'll
it's
see.
that time when Aaron
We'll
Rodgers.
see.
Back to the list of names. Number 13, Skip Tumalu Rayford Austin,
New
one of
York
the coldest
legend,
names of
playground
all time.
legend.
Playground legend, Fresno State legend.
That's a good one you pulled
And he
out
did play
there.
in the NBA. Played for the Houston Rockets for some years with Coutinho and Steve Francis. It's a cold nickname. I remember the N1 tape. It just set the trend, the culture on fire,
Oh,
man.
man.
You just love
Professor,
those.
Escalade.
Man, half amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Escalade, who was
Big boy.
he's Mark Jackson's actual brother in real life.
No way.
He's his brother.
What was that?
Yes
Really?
way. Escalade was the big player on the N1 tour. He died of a heart attack. He's Mark Jackson's real brother.
1987 Rookie of the Year because David Robinson was on a ship.
My guy, Mark Jackson?
Your guy, Mark Jackson, is his brother. It's his younger brother.
Never knew that.
Yeah, it was his younger brother. He talks about it all the time. Real touched up about
Mark
his
Jackson,
past.
completely ripped off in the NBA. How has he not been coaching all these years?
He wrote
Makes
me a letter
sick.
from the bench. Not too happy with that one. I don't know if I can even say what he said on that letter, considering where we're being live broadcast right now.
Yeah, we're going to hold off on that. We'll get to it during the break, and we'll see if it's show friendly.
Loved Action Jackson.
100%. He was cold, man. He was definitely cold. Coming in at number 12.
St. John's own.
Maz likes this name, the Slim Reaper.
I do love this.
Talking
nickname.
about Kevin Durant. This is one of the coldest ones, man.
It is
I
a
really wanted to put
fantastic
it
nickname.
top 10, top 5, but you'll see why when I get a little higher.
Of course.
But Slim Reaper, that's
Fabulous.
a cold name, man. Yeah. It's fitting.
Sure is.
Sometimes things are just perfectly fitting. It
really is a great nickname.
Slim Reaper. Number 11. Dominique Wilkins, the Human Highlight Film. One
My
of the
all-time favorite nicknames.
Same, man. Like he was
I'd be top 5 on that one.
He was cold. Jordan and Dominique in the dunk contest. Who you got?
Not Jordan.
Taking Dominique Wilkins?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was a fan of
Yeah.
Nick over Jordan because obviously at the time we hated the Bulls. Jordan had a finesse factor and sky factor to his, but there was a ferocity and as well as still that artistry to Dominique's dunks that just man, that between the legs and over the back.
Yeah.
Loved him.
Yeah, 100%. You know, the rivalry people don't talk about a lot. They're so focused on Jordan and whatever. They never really focus in on a particular rivalry that Jordan had. Dominique and Larry Bird's rivalry was like uncanny. Larry Bird talked about it all the time. He said,
Celtics Hawks?
Celtics Hawks. He said Dominique was his heart, and not necessarily obviously a lot of playoffs, but when they did play in the playoffs, when they played in the regular season, Dominique Wilkins was the guy that he said he had the hardest time defending Dominique. And then you go back and look at some of those stats. Dominique dropped 49, 48, 54, 47.
It was a one-man show.
One-man show.
Great
Was
18-foot
Spud on that
jumper.
team or no?
Spud was, but
Mr.
Spud
Anthony?
wasn't
That's
just the
right.
offense. They had to wait till they got Stacey Augman.
Right.
Kevin Willis
That's
was on
another
that
great
team.
nickname.
Cliff
You got Augman on this
Livingston,
list?
Tree
Glassman.
Rollins.
He's honorable mention. Glassman.
Plastic Man.
Plastic
Stacey.
Man.
Yeah.
That's
Another
all
one
with
of
the
our
running
reps.
Rebels.
Now, can you name their center for that team?
Always forget his name.
George Ackles.
George Ackles. I always forget him, man. You
I
know the
wouldn't
other
have
four. One of them is actually from
Anderson
Detroit.
Hunt.
He's from Detroit.
Larry,
Yep.
Stacy,
Yep.
Ackles, and
Greg Anthony.
Yeah.
Greg Anthony.
GA.
100%.
Another Nick right
Another
there, right?
Nick. There you go. All right, top 5. This is 15 through 11. Where we at right now, Maz? You like the nickname?
I love him so far.
Good job.
I'm surprised you got Skip to my Lou in there.
Had to have him in there, man. It's for the culture, man. Not to mention he was a pretty good Houston
For
Rocket.
the culture, though. I love it.
It's for the culture. Like, and1 was a major part of basketball because it made shoe companies kind of change their branding, change the shoes they were making. It more look. Skip to my Lou was part of the culture, and it was a great nickname.
Not a great NBA career,
No.
but a legend in hoops.
Yeah, and played long enough. Like, don't get it twisted. Rayford Allen got in 10 years.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Rayford is a great name. That's a standalone.
You drive. Hey, what?
Yeah.
That's a cold name. He's just New York. It's cold all the way around.
No doubt.
All right, here we go. 10 through 6. Vince Sanity coming in number 10. This was my favorite player after Jordan retired. I was a Vince Carter guy, man. I love everything about Vince Carter.
That's a retiring his number.
At 100. Finally, As they should. You saw the dunks that he did against Alonzo Mourning. He should have got retired just for that game alone. Vinsanity coming in at number 10. I still remember the series, the Toronto Raptors versus the Philadelphia 76ers that went 7 games, and that game is the one that got AI to play against Kobe Bryant. Vince dropped 50 twice in that series, and it went to game 7. He ran out of gas, though. Number 9, you know him, you love him, arguably the greatest player of all time, Larry Legend. It's a cold name.
I'll tell you,
it's a cold name.
If you guys aren't spending time on YouTube watching Larry Legend stories, honestly, they are the best stories out of any NBA player. It's just fantastic.
When he was in college and his name was bantered about,
there
was a lot of games were on radio. Yeah. Not a lot of his games were not on TV.
Yeah.
They thought he was black. Who's this Larry Bird? They thought he was black.
Did you know? You know he spent his first year.
There's no way a guy that looked like that should have been as good as he was.
The funniest and best thing Larry Bird ever said is when he tells players in the NBA, he's like, "Man, y'all better get this white boy off me. I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill him." So funny. This is a white boy saying it.
I know.
The funniest story though about Larry Bird is the Dr. J and Larry Bird fight. Like Charles Barkley finally set the record straight on why Dr. J and Larry Bird fought. Said this is the end of Dr. J's career. This is like the last season. This is like basically what they do now, the farewell season, the farewell tour. Larry Bird was young. Larry Bird was killing him out there, and he was telling him every play, he said, "Hey, Charles, if you don't get this old man off me, I'm going to kill him. I'm going to send him into the retirement home." Oh. So he kept saying this so that Dr. J could hear him, and finally Dr. J just didn't like the jokes. He was old. He was over the hill.
Who won that fight?
Well, Dr. J won, but Charles Barkley was holding Larry Bird. He talked about that too. He said, "I wasn't trying to hold Larry so Doc could win the fight." He said, "If we're fighting, I'm going to grab the guy that's going to try to fight my guy."
Right.
He said, "Well, I grabbed him and Doc was free. Nobody grabbed Doc." he took 3-piece Larry Bird.
Wow.
But yeah, so Larry Legend, that's why they fought. He's on this list too, a little further up. Number 8, speaking of Philly, the answer is also the question as well. Allen Iverson, one of the coldest small men of all time, one of the best NBA players of all time.
And it was such a hot nickname when he hit the scene.
His shoes first dropped. His shoes were like, they changed the game as well, man. The answer. What you like about Allen Iverson there, man?
Allen Iverson, man, he changed the game again when he came in. A little guy like him, a little guy like that brought that Philadelphia team to a championship chance.
And won game 1.
I know. There's no way they belong there. He brought them there on his back. He put them on his back. The only downside about him is the little statue they made for him just a few weeks ago.
That was
little Penny.
That was a tough statue.
You love torching that thing.
I do.
It's a horrible statue.
Little Penny.
It's cool, but it's just so small.
It's nothing cool about that.
It's like
statue.
a trophy.
It looks like the Woody dial.
He's in the middle of his crossover though, and that's how he was.
Right. It looks like a trophy.
Exactly. It looks like you win at one of these AAU camps.
Hey, get that trophy behind you.
The Paul Bunyan?
Get the Paul Bunyan. That's what it looks like.
He might be a little bit bigger
Paul
than
Bunyan might be bigger than Allen Iverson's trophy.
I think you're right.
Here's the Allen Iverson statue in Philadelphia. Here's what it looks like.
To scale.
That's it.
To scale.
Right here. Thank you. I appreciate it. This is like the All-Star MVP trophy. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hey, you should always have that when Anson's on. That should always be by you.
It doesn't belong by them.
Sorry, buddy. That's what you get for SOL.
Take a look at it.
That's what you get for SOL.
You get close. You take a look at it. Leave it over here, though. I don't crack too many jokes. I mean, you know what? Everything is subject to change.
Your time will come, Mr. Green. Mr. Olive.
Hey, are you going to drop Pride Comes Before the Fall for us?
Fire.
How many national championships does your football team have in the last 70 years?
How many national championships do y'all have, period?
We got 6.
How many y'all have, period?
Since 1952, when we joined the Big Ten, we have 6 to your 2. Google it. Chat.
What's 6?
That's the truth. Go Green. Let's go.
What 6 do you have?
1952, we have 6.
1952.
Get on your Google
machine. You won
machine.
the national championship 6 times?
Indeed.
In what?
Indeed.
In
football.
games?
In football.
Intramural football?
This is true. 1952.
Is it intramural
Michigan
football?
State joined the Big Ten, and we have 6 national championships in football to Michigan's 2.
Is this intramural football?
This is true story.
6 national
Pete,
championships.
hook up the visual. Let's
is
go.
this intramural football we're talking about?
I don't know, but all your championships, while you guys you guys were wearing leather scullies in the 20s. So if you want to talk
we're
about
the current
intramural championships, Mr. Olive.
We're the current national champs. What are you
Somebody
talking
get
about?
that guy an ice
Which
pack.
means you have 1/3 as many as us in the last 70 years.
We won in 97.
Sleep on that, Bray.
Last time you won was 66.
Okay, and then but when did
Oh
you
my God.
go between 52 and 60? Or
Michigan
76, and let's
State
do some
fans are
numbers.
hilarious.
Google has it.
But why am I reverting to 1952?
I don't know, because
I live in
because you guys
2024.
revert to the 20s to talk about your actual championships.
Who is you guys? I said we're the champs.
You have 2 in the last 70 years. We have 6. Sleep on it.
Anson, when did you win that? Were you alive?
Anson, look at me. Look at
Were you even alive for those
Hold on,
championships?
right.
Were you alive for the ones before 97?
Anson, look at me for a minute.
I was alive for 2.
Anson,
I was alive
That's
for
it.
2. You were
Anson,
alive
look-
for
look
those
at me.
same 2.
Since
You're delirious.
1997, the Michigan Wolverines have 2 national
He's
championships.
delirious.
The
Including
Michigan-
the
And
current
the Spartans
one.
have won in basketball.
See, you went to another sport. What is this?
You want us
All
to
right,
count
look.
basketball too?
No, we're
Hey,
just
hold
talking
on,
national
hold on.
championships.
Where we at on this list?
Jay Green, help me out over here, man.
There's nothing to help right now. You went.
You're
went
at
to
7.
basketball.
7, my
Here we
friend.
go.
7.
Yeah, here we go. Number 7 coming in, one of the coldest nicknames ever.
Perfect.
And he was one of the coldest players until he got dunked on by Baron Davis, the We Believe Golden State Warrior. AK-47, Andreas Karolinko. Look, I apologize for the name, ladies and gentlemen. I know it's not a gun-friendly
come on. It's just a
situation.
nickname.
You have to say it, though, man. You have
no,
to
you
say
don't.
it. This came out. This is a nickname. This was then. This is now. AK-47, cold nickname, man.
It is. It is a
Utah's
cold.
ass.
I probably would have dug for that one, but I probably wouldn't have had him in my top 15. But it's a great nickname.
Now, he's a Russian guy.
Yeah.
Looks like Drago.
And
Little
he
skinnier,
knows
though.
his initials, and he chose the number 47
Yeah.
because
He did. He knew.
he knew what he was
He
doing.
knew what he was doing.
Fantastic.
That's
know
what
what he
makes
was
your name even colder. Coming in at number 6, we just talked about him getting jumped or jumping Larry Bird. It's Dr. J. This is your guy, Maz. I'll let you talk about the doc who came over from the ABA.
Put Julius on that back wall for me, Mike. Put Dr. J on that back wall for me while I talk about, to me, the number 1 showman in NBA history, in basketball history.
You snuck this one on
In
me.
basketball history. That is the number 1 showman ever. A phenomenal player. No, you're not going to put him up in the greatest of all time, but damn, was he good. And damn, are the Nets never going to win a championship because
It's a
of what
beautiful
they
logo,
did
man. Shout out
on that day in 1976 when they traded him overnight to the stinking Philadelphia 76ers. He should have been a Net for life, and the Nets probably would have had a championship by now. Easily had a championship by
There we
now.
go. Yeah.
What a ball player, man, and what a showman.
Dr. J was cold, man. He showed you he was cold because in the era of Magic and Bird, he still managed to get his first championship, first and only championship with the Philadelphia
But how about the
76ers.
things that come to your mind when you think of Dr. J?
The afro,
The rock the cradle.
first
the
person
under
to dunk from the free
basket.
throw line.
Yeah, the under the basket, the rock the cradle. I mean,
Oh, yeah, the
it's
infamous under the
just
basket.
amazing.
I
The
got
thing that was crazy about the under the basket one is like that wasn't necessarily a young Julius Erving. That was an older one because they didn't
Yep.
have the hair when he went under that. Was then the rock the cradle dunk on the sideline. Was that Michael Cooper that he dunked
Oh,
on?
yeah.
Yeah.
If
man.
you only saw him in his ABA days to really appreciate what he did.
I got a chance to see him a couple times at the Silver Dome. It was pretty special.
Fantastic.
I was too young to really understand, but everyone was just talking about Dr. J there, and then got a chance to see him his retirement year in '87. He was pretty special. And watching the way that Magic and Larry and Michael and all of them revered him,
good call.
I mean, he's kind of the king.
So I've had a chance to see Dr. J Maz in a couple of different settings. It's always around All-Star game or some event. I saw him at Super Bowl a couple times. I've seen him at different All-Star games throughout my life. What Anson said is 100% correct. I've been in rooms that have had the current NBA stars, some of the former players, stars, Hall of Famers, or entertainers. Like when Doc walks in the room, Maz, everybody, it's like hey, Doc's here. Doc's here. Like, yo, Doc. It's almost like the only other person that can come in and command that same is Mike.
Ain't that something?
Like when he walks in, it's like, oh man, Doc's
You're
here.
absolutely
Doc's.
right.
You're here whispering. Like every time I was in the same room, hey, Doc's here. Doc gets that respect.
Love him. I absolutely love him.
You want to roll through the top 5, or do you want to take a break?
Take a break.
Yeah, this is a hot list, man. Ladies and gentlemen in the chat, let me know what you think about the list. Let me know anybody that I missed. You know at least 2 that I will have up there. But comment, tell us if you like the show as well. We're going to take a quick break. My man Pete is going to tell you about Guardian Alarm.
That's right. What happens when you see that black and yellow sign out in front of your house? It tells the bad guys one thing.
Stay out.
It is a new year. Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real people, 24/7 professional monitoring, and technology backed by people. And that technology has been proven to work, and those people have been proven to care. So call 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
Call them today and tell them Tom Mazaway sent you. We'll be right back.
Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Ham for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
To any Lady Jane's haircuts for men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody! Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Time to talk about Lady Jane's, where you walk in and it's wicked awesome. Awesome is when a guy can get an amazing haircut. That's what you can come here at Lady Jane's and do. Stop in, sit back, just relax, and let the ladies take care of you. And let one of the stylists, the talented stylists, take care of you, make you look and feel great. Ask Ryan Ermanni about that. He is one every week. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week, Lady Jane's. It is, once again, wicked awesome. Welcome back. Ermanni Edwards with Maz. Ryan Ermanni now joining us today. Anson Wells stepping in his place, and we always appreciate that. Tom Mazaway, how you feeling over there, big guy?
I'm great. We're having fun today, huh?
Yes,
Another fun day.
Told you I had some
I love it, Bray.
Some fun things.
Getting us ready for the Memorial Day long weekend here.
That's why we needed top 15 instead of top 10. We had that extra day in there.
We could have done a top 100 on nicknames.
That's right. A lot of good nicknames.
Yeah.
Hey, Maz, if you could trade places with anybody for one day, who would that be?
Anybody?
Anybody. One day you get 24 hours.
All right.
One person.
Well, that's tough.
Anybody in your lifetime, at any point in your 62
All right, I got it. Anybody?
Anybody.
Right. Derek Jeter.
DJ.
Derek Jeter.
Your city, your team.
Any year. Pick a year. I don't give a damn what
Not
year
2024, though.
Any year. Yeah, I'll trade with places with it right now.
Okay.
Right now.
Hold
I don't care.
You're up still. Guilty pleasure.
My guilty pleasure?
Guilty pleasure, Tom Mazaway.
Don't ask me.
It's not a friendly guilty pleasure. All right. Here we go. Best piece of advice you've ever been given?
Oh, man. That's great.
These are good ones, huh?
Yeah. Best piece of advice I've ever given. Follow your dreams. Follow your dreams. Don't give up.
Worst advice ever given.
Watch that Michigan State-Michigan game. It's trouble with the snap.
You ain't lying about that one. That one still hurts. That one still hurts.
A lot of money that day.
I saw this cool thing, man. It was Larry King. CNN was interviewing Cat Williams, and he was just asking him a couple of laundry list of questions.
That's cool.
He asked him that one. Guilty
That's a
pleasure,
toughie, man. You're off the top.
It was. He had some good answers too. He said the worst piece of advice he got was never change. He said the best compliment he ever received was "you're good enough." And he said his guilty pleasure was the silence of his own home, and it was something else. But that was some good ones. I just thought-provoking, figure out we killed.
My guilty pleasure, I just don't want to say it.
Yeah, what?
Okay.
The racetrack, of course.
We'll keep you off camera with that one.
Thank you.
All right, if you just joined us, we're talking about the top 15 NBA nicknames of all time, as by me. You can feel free to disagree. We've already gone through 15 to 6. Now it's time for the heavy hitters. Coming in at number 5, it is Magic. Come on, if you knew Larry Legend was on the list, you knew Magic was. Simply put, it's arguably the coldest nickname of all time. I think I like the 4. I had 3 ahead of it, but
that's Magic Mike's nickname. I nicknamed Mike.
Magic Mike.
Yeah,
that's a guy that named Channing Tatum, I do believe. Copyrights belong to him.
Yeah, I got you.
But Magic is Magic, man. State of Michigan, born here in Lansing, played at Lansing.
What a story! What a story!
Championship with Michigan State, champions with the Lakers. He's been Magic his whole life. I think that's why his names like that stick and last from the time of your youth, your childhood, and last you to, those are the nicknames that are special.
That not only stick, but also perfectly suit you. Because that man was pure magic every time he touched a basketball.
The Showtime Lakers, starring Magic Johnson, like that's a movie. Mm-hmm. Like that's a show on Broadway, man. I'm surprised they never did that. If you do
you ever watch the one on HBO?
Oh, that's our show.
Man, they ended that so early. Everyone wanted to see Michael.
The only thing that was wrong with that show was the basketball sequences.
Oh, they were horrible.
Other than that, it was a phenomenal show.
You can tell they had some
winning time
out there hooping.
Winning time.
Yeah, they had to cancel the show, so that's why they sped through season 2.
The guy that played Larry Bird was right on.
Oh, yeah, he was.
Right on.
Stuff talking.
The guy that played Magic, right on.
They should have played that for 5 seasons all the way through the 1991 announcement.
It got canceled. HBO pulled the plug.
Awful.
Yeah.
Did pull the plug.
Such a good show.
They make a lot of bad choices in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
But you know that probably had something to do with the Lakers because Jerry West had a problem with it. Jeannie Buss had a problem with it. You know, money talks BS.
Jerry West was pissed. He was the funniest character on that show.
He was the best character on it.
Usually people with pissed is like spot on though. I guarantee you, like it's obviously a little exaggerative, but it's probably not far off the mark.
No.
It's not far off the mark.
Speaking of a nickname that should be on this list is the logo himself, Jerry West.
So the logo got pulled for Steph Curry because I just wanted to relate sometimes to younger individuals.
Fair.
It is the logo.
Yeah.
Like that's one of the coldest names, period. So yeah, I agree with you. I actually had it at 7.
I wonder who decided that.
You said
I wonder who decided that.
To choose him as the NBA logo.
Don't get me started. I can take that into a different direction. Number 4. White chocolate, baby.
Can I put an asterisk on this and add Chocolate Thunder as well? Because both of them are fantastic.
You can, but
no.
It's the connotation behind like white chocolate is dope. He's white, but he's got black
Chocolate
skin.
Thunder broke backwards with his thundering chocolateness.
Oh, pause. But no, what I'm basically saying is like one is a white dude, but he gets the chocolate side of it because he out here doing what brothers is doing on the basketball court. So it's a double entendre.
Oh, I love it.
Chocolate Thunder is just Chocolate Thunder.
Yeah, but he was the Thunder.
It's a cold name.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't make the list. Pistol Pete is another name that should have made the list.
Absolutely.
Pistol Pete, I dropped the ball in that. Look, man, it was this morning. It was after my workout. I was a little bit tired when I was making this list. But I did drop the ball on Pistol Pete.
Okay, I'm gonna
I purposely did not put the mailman on here. Like, anybody says Karl Malone in the chat, you're going to get beat up, okay? Please, Lord, no one put mailman on this list. Number 3, rest in peace. Number 8 or number 24 in your hearts, Black Mamba, Kobe Bryant. Simply put, the name could be number 1 once again, but Black Mamba was what he was. And when he created that Black Mamba, when he created that 24, he was a different type of player when he was 24. Black Mamba will live on forever. Number 2, Detroit's own George, the Ice Man Gervin. It's the coldest phrase ever. It says, the Iceman cometh.
As cold as that finger roll,
the
baby.
The Iceman cometh. You knew he was coming to your city. You knew it was on and popping. Went to Eastern High School, which is now Martin Luther King. I went to Martin Luther King. Shout out to the Iceman.
Nice.
Still a good dude,
I didn't
too.
know that.
He was, yeah.
You guys are alumni together, huh?
100%. He's a little older than I am.
Don't forget EMU as well.
EMU, right down the street. He and Max Crosby of the Las Vegas.
Ain't that something?
I know, right? He wants to be a Lion.
Yes, he does.
How the hell did Max Crosby?
Like, Max wants to be a Lion so bad.
We all want him
to.
to.
Aiden Hutchinson with so much envy. Both because he's from Michigan as well. Went to Eastern Michigan.
He's just lost in Vegas.
Yeah,
lost.
He is. I mean, he's happy with Antonio Pierce, but I don't think Antonio. I don't want to hate on my teammate. I mean, my former.
Yeah, him and Brock Bowers are both lost.
Brock Bowers got drafted after Michael Mayer got drafted the year before. Like, it is chaos and foolishness. They told Terry and Arnold they flipped the coin. They told Terry and Arnold they flipped the coin. It was you or Bowers. They landed on tails. Bowers.
What they've
That's
done
something
with
you don't share.
100%. And we said that on the show. Maz and I were irate. Like, what idiot?
What they've done with that proud franchise is a disgrace.
100%. And you know who's number one. And now you can, Money Mike, zoom out and show the backboard. Show that tremendous work. Shout out to the guys in the back. The guys have been working hard. Noah and Ryan, they put up some good back walls. They put up some great graphics. And this graphic that they put up of Michael Jordan, Air Jordan, the coldest nickname there ever was, it still hits. It still holds true. This graphic, though, this hits, man. This is a clean picture. It's framed.
He really, really, really was
Should be a poster.
Yeah, but Mike, I mean, you still watch highlights now and you're wondering how Mike did some of the things he did. He was phenomenal, man.
You know who came up with that name, right?
Air Jordan. Yeah, you watched the movie.
Who was it?
Oh, my God. I was watching.
His agent, David Falk.
Okay. Yeah, it wasn't David Falk. It was really
That's who Jordan attributes it to.
Yeah, because that's his boy. Really, he's the guy that made the sneaker. The guy that made
Nike?
Yes.
Okay.
The guy that made the sneaker. But neither here nor there. They came up with it together.
Can I give my honorable mentions?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Well, the Pistons had five fantastic ones. Probably the best, the microwave, Vinnie Johnson, turn on the heat, baby. Of course, the captain, Zeke. Got Buddha, James Edwards. And then you remember this high five? Spider and Worm? Man, Spider Sally and Dennis the Worm Rodman, those were great ones.
The Worm's a good one.
You can't forget about World Be Free.
Now, so World Be Free was actually on the original list too. Lloyd Free, by the way, if those that don't know. Worm, we had just done a list with Worm. Remember when we were watching? So that's why I didn't put him on the list again. Microwave is definitely a good one. I wouldn't go with Spider because Spider averaged like
top 15.
4 points.
Just got to recognize the two of them.
100%.
But he's got a lot of rings and he's got a few movies too.
He does.
Now the glove, you got to at least acknowledge the glove.
I forgot the glove.
And then, come on, man, the round mound of rebound.
Yeah, but I never liked that.
The shortest player to ever lead the NBA in rebounds.
I liked him. I never liked that nickname, though. The round mound, that was kind of like, what? The round mound? That sounded like a strip club.
But that one came from him when he was Clemson, right? Remember where he went?
Yep.
No, Auburn.
Auburn, you're right.
Yeah,
but that came from Auburn when he was at Auburn, right?
100%, because he was 300 pounds. Like, people don't realize Chuck was 300 pounds and still moving like that as athletic as he was.
You see that kid at NC State? That was the
big guy.
He lost
45 pounds.
He looks awesome.
His name was Reader.
Yeah, he looks awesome.
Something just like DJ Reader, something Reader, I think. I ran into him. Remember when I was DJ Jones? Remember I was out that Friday and Monday and I went to the music festival?
Yeah.
And J. Cole's Music Festival, Dream World down in Fayetteville. He was there.
How about that?
North Carolina State is legitimately the campus that the music festival is on.
Yeah.
So we saw him in the VIP. He's a tall dude. I saw him right after he got
whooped. He can play, man.
Yeah,
he can play.
He just want to get Zach Edey. It just wasn't fair.
I got a couple for you.
Go ahead,
please.
there.
Old school. You can't not put Walt Clyde Frazier. How about Clyde?
You know, my dog was
Clyde
named after
is like
him.
a name. That's not a nickname. Like Clyde.
Yeah, it is. Clyde.
That was his nickname, Walt Clyde Frazier.
I know, but like, what does Clyde mean? Like,
he was a sharp dude, Clyde.
The best dressed man in the NBA in the early 70s.
He drove up to the Garden in a Rolls Royce every night.
First of all, I know what he did and I know what he wore. I just didn't. I never understood the name Clyde.
Just a nickname.
Like I get it. It's the 70s jive.
Yeah,
it
was.
And shout out to my dog, my late dog Clyde Frazier Wells. Much love, buddy. We miss you.
Earl the Pearl Monroe, Earl the Twirl, of course.
Or
here in
Black
Detroit.
Jesus. Black Jesus of the playground.
Yep.
That's
you know
another
it.
nickname I blew on.
That's okay.
No, not that one. Jesus Shuttlesworth.
Yep.
Ray Allen.
Ray Allen.
And yes, I did hear you, Joe Paul. Yeah. Dang. Jesus Shuttlesworth. That's a code.
It is.
Spike Lee.
There's so many. You can go up and down
There's a
teams.
ton of great names.
You can go up and down teams. The Big O. Well, that's Oscar
I
Robertson.
purposely kept King James off here because I knew how you feel about LeBron. So I kept King James off here
Appreciate
for you.
that,
No
man.
problem.
I appreciate that as well, my friend.
I kept him off for you. Microwave was a code name. 007. Hit that shot.
Oh, yeah. Remember that they had those old posters back in the 80s. They had like the mailman shoving a ball into a mailbox. Well, they had Vinny holding up a basketball on fire with this switch in the middle. Turn it on, and it was all the way to microwave. Vinny Johnson.
That's funny.
Oh, yeah.
VJ Westcote, a hell of a businessman here in the city of Detroit. Detroit Metro.
I actually,
hell of a businessman.
I caddied 2 times because I was a cart boy, but we had 2 Dino Cicerelli's outings.
Dino, East Side guy.
Good guy. And we didn't have carts for that. And both years, I actually I was the caddy for Vinny Johnson, and you would never know it, but he is a massive deadhead. His entire bag is all Grateful Dead, man. Very cool, man.
Much like Bill Walton, who's another big Grateful Dead guy.
He was.
Tom Nazaway.
A Diz says Wilt the Stilt Chamberlain.
He hated that nickname.
And how about Rain Man? Sean Kemp.
Oh.
Sean Kemp.
That's a great one.
Grandmama.
Rain Man and the Glove.
Grandmama. Larry Johnson.
Yeah, that's a good one, too.
A lot of great
Uncle
names.
Drew, kind of similar.
How about Daryl Duncanstein Griffin? Thank you, Vil, for that one.
Duncanstein.
Oh, yeah, from the Jazz?
Yep.
That's old school.
The UTEP two-step.
Oh, man.
Tim Hardaway.
Yes, sir.
Tim
Man, I was at
Hardaway.
Isaiah Thomas Camp and Will Robinson. You remember Will Robinson?
Oh, the big ticket. Good job.
KT, the big ticket. There you go. That's another good one.
You know who named him that? The announcer. One of my favorite guys. He just did the game for the T-Wolves. He was a T-Wolf. Kevin Harlan. Thank you.
Oh,
he named it the big ticket.
Speaking of big tickets, Tom Mazaway, NCAA and power conferences, seems like they're agreeing to a big ticket on paying athletes. What say you about this?
It's
bizarre.
This could end NIL, guys. NIL could be a thing of the past.
And that's what they want to do.
Yeah.
And that's what they want to do. We've been talking about it since, Maz, I'll let you read the article. I'll let you pull it up if we have it.
The NCAA power conferences agree to a settlement. It's billions of dollars to allow schools now to actually pay players. No NIL, just pay them to come play sports. I doubt they have to go to class officially. Just pay to play. And this is, I don't know what it's going to do. I don't have any idea what this is going to do to college sports.
It'll curb NIL. NIL will calm down. I think right now there's a lot going on. You look at the court case that's about to happen. Not court case, excuse me. You look at the lawsuit that has been rendered by Jaden Rashada, the recruit out of Florida, who Florida promised $13 million. They backed and they reneged on the deal. So things like that.
I don't know how he knew how he thought he was going to get $13 million.
And the thing about it is he'll probably get something. Because they did tell him something, Charlie, it changed the way he was recruited. But just getting back to NIL, it might do away with NIL. Now that institutions can pay, they can separate themselves from NIL deal goers. That way they can keep kids in school. Because that's the big thing too, is the transfer portal, the money. I think this is the move that the NCAA is trying to admit to get some of that power back, because they lost all the power and it's up for the highest bidder. But I just feel bad for the kids that no longer are going to class. It's just all about the sport they play. Yeah. If that's what it is.
I mean, it was an important move to get these kids paid. You know, it keeps them out of trouble. It keeps them fed as well. And they're generating so much money for these universities that they should be paid. But there were a lot of problems in this first few years that they just didn't know how to handle. It was all brand new. I mean, guys can transfer out and back in the same offseason, get money, and then come back and get money again. So they need to clean up a lot of this stuff. But whatever it is, there needs to be some sort of I don't want to say a cap, but an equalizer. You know, because if we just end up having a Yankees of college football forever, you know, then we're back to where we were. Guys are getting paid, but we have no parity in college sports.
Yeah, and one of the things that I recommended when this thing was first talked about, NIL, how do you pay, et cetera, Maz, I remember I think I said, it has to be based on your usage rate in terms of
Yes.
jerseys, in terms of sales,
Absolutely.
in terms of percentage of people watching your specific sport. Now, I know some individuals will get left out in the dust, but let's call it a spade. They're not doing NIL for volleyball players. They're not doing NIL for swimmers. They're doing it for football, basketball, baseball, and hockey. That's it. You put a percentage on
mainly football and basketball.
and football and basketball. Caitlin Clark, and Angel Reese, they're the only ones really made money in basketball. So put a cap on it. But I think that it's hard to do this after the NCAA has always kind of relinquished their powers. When you have schools like Clemson, you have schools like Florida State that are suing because they were trying to leave the conference. You got individuals suing against the NCAA, or not even listening to what the NCAA has to say. How do you implement this, man?
I don't know, man. I'm very confused about everything in college sports now. I don't know how this – a lot of people saying this is going to help. And I don't know how it's going to help. NIL, this, it's all – the cap is off, man. It ain't the game anymore. It's not the game that we all know it was. I have no idea how this is going to work. Do they have to sign a contract to stay in? Does that mean they don't transfer? What are the stipulations on this thing? I think there's plenty more to uncover here as the weeks go on.
Too many loopholes. They've got to clean it up. I think that it benefits the kids, and in 10 years, when they figure this thing out, it will be good for everybody. But there's just too many issues and too many loopholes they got to figure out.
Speaking of, Maz, before we go to the next thing, speaking of loopholes and stipulations, did you see what happened with Marvin Harrison Jr. and him not signing the Madden deal?
And he didn't sign with Fanatics yet.
Yep.
His jersey is not available yet.
Smart man by him. Like somebody, I wish I would have thought about this years ago. Somebody finally came out and done it, because now what happens is they have to get his name on the game. They have to get uniforms by him. Now he negotiates his own deal.
That's right.
Smart by him and his agent, man. Like, you don't have to sign, and that's the thing. You don't have to sign anything before you truly read it and you ask the questions. I guarantee they read it, they asked the questions. Now he'll get paid handsomely by EA Sports. He'll get paid handsomely by Fanatics, because they got to get his name on that game, and they got to get that jersey on the show.
Fanatics is saying that they already paid him
because they
six
paid
figures.
because they paid the NFL, or they paid him.
They say they paid him, and they think what they say is they have his signature on something, but he has not said a thing yet. He just signed his rookie deal yesterday, as a matter of fact. One of the latest rookies to sign on the dotted line. But him and Kyler Murray, they're going to be trouble. The Cardinals are.
Don't sleep on Kyler.
They're on the ups.
Trey Benson.
And we talked about it last year at the beginning of the season. You see, they popped the Dallas Cowboys before the Dallas Cowboys really got on their grind.
Yeah.
They play a great style. It's physical. They play physical football. Shane Steichen's really got those guys going.
Jonathan
Gannon, excuse me. I'm thinking
Steichen's the other one.
Right. He's in Indianapolis.
Correct.
But Gannon's got those guys going. They believed him. He was his first remember we saw his first speaking?
Yeah, it was weak.
It was weak.
Weird.
We were like, it's not going to work.
That play for him.
I think so, man.
They play for him.
I agree with you on that.
Keep it on the NFL. Let's keep it going. How about this, guys? The NFL is testing optical tracking in preseason this year for the line of gain for first downs. You know how the chain gang?
Right.
I've always said, how the hell do these old guys holding the chain figure out what a first down is? They're going to use optical tracking. So literally,
Glowpuck.
Yep, an electric eye. I don't know what they're going to do, how they're going to do it. Maybe there's something in the ball that it could track. I have no idea, but they're going to try it out this year in preseason, and the chain gang will be the backup.
This is very interesting. The NFL is preparing to test optical tracking for a line to gain ruling this preseason, like Matt said, with the chance to be implemented fully in the 2024 regular season. Sources tell NFL on CBS. Chains will be a backup if this were to be a success. Where are you on that? The optical illusion, the optical lens, the chance for error versus the human chance for error in machine. Where are you with that?
Well, I'm just watching the MLB right now and how desperately in need of a digital system in 2024 they are. I mean, umpires are missing calls left and right. I've seen plenty of games, especially more so in college, where they just kind of give you the benefit of the doubt in the first down. But listen, it's 2024. We have the technology to make things exact. Why wouldn't we?
Speaking of umps, man, tell me if I'm not wrong based on the percentage, but tell me if this changes. So I'm watching something I'm hearing, I can't remember where I heard it, but the umps, they do the percentages, they do the rankings.
Yeah.
They said the umps get 91% of the calls right.
Okay.
They said where it starts to tank for umps is when the count is full. They said when the count is full, it goes down to 42%.
Wow.
Like that's the drop off. But
how the hell does that happen?
How the hell did they say 91%? First of all, but second of all, the drop 42% on full count.
Angel Hernandez is not in that stat.
Right, he's killing the odds on that.
He's
by
not
the way.
in that stat.
I'm sorry. Listen, I love the umpire behind home plate. I do.
Yeah.
But it don't work because every guy has a different strike zone.
Well, and some guys are far off from the catcher. Some guys are right
hard
behind
to
him.
read these pitches. Let's call a spade a spade. It's hard to sit back there and read these pitches.
Just make it a robo.
Yeah.
Just because when ESPN, TNT, MLB, whoever, they put up the strike zone. I see the ball in the strike zone and they're calling it a ball. I see balls outside the strike zone and they're calling it a strike. Yeah, it don't work, man. No. We see what we see.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the thing about it is you make it a robo ump. I kind of like that name right there, though.
Robo ump?
You make it a robo ump, at least you'll get consistency.
Yes.
I think that's the big thing.
And you got no one to bitch at.
That's where the major league players are asking for. They're just asking for consistency. Look, I don't care if this is a strike zone up here. Call it up here every time. Now I have to adjust to that. I think that consistency can be had by robo ump.
You can put them on first, second, third, out in the outfield. But the guy behind a home plate, and I know it's exciting to see the umpire and hear the calls. It is exciting. But then get me one strike zone. Get me one freaking strike zone.
Speaking of one strike zone, wherever the strike zone is, whenever the Detroit Tigers are playing an opponent, it doesn't matter because they can't seem to find it. Yeah. Another loss last night.
They got crushed again.
9-1. They got smoked by the Toronto Blue Jays.
Flaherty struck out 7 again, or 8.
Oh, and guess what? Did nothing with it.
Nothing.
We got him one hit. It's to the point we don't even need to talk about them.
And guess what? I'm going to see him tonight.
Lost 15 of their last 19.
We're going on Father's Day with the fathers, obviously.
Nice.
But if it wasn't just a fun event, I wouldn't want to go.
It's just baseball. That's why I go.
No,
it's our home team.
First of all,
I love professional baseball
down there.
It is.
It's gorgeous
I like going to Comerica. I love it. I love
Summer
it. They
day
suck,
at the
but I
ballpark
love
is
it.
always a good time.
The thing is, we all thought they would be a 500 team, right? So right now they're 4 below 500, 10 games out. Okay, we miscalculated the AL Central. It's a lot better than a lot of people thought. You have 3 winning teams right now. You got Cleveland, Minnesota, and who am I missing?
Brewers.
Minnesota's 3rd, actually.
Minnesota.
Cleveland. Oh, what the hell's wrong with
Twins.
me? There.
Guardians.
Yeah. Huh?
Brewers.
Damn. Anyway, there's 3 leading teams. Royals, thank you.
There you go.
Thank you. Cleveland, Kansas City, and the Minnesota Twins, all with winning records. And the Tigers are 4 below 500. So if they play 500 ball this year, we can't look back and say, that's a pretty good season. It's just the way they're playing ball right now, it just doesn't mesh. They look so overmatched, and it's basically just all they're hitting.
Yeah,
it's not the pitching, it's the hitting.
If Michigan State would have been in the AP and it was combined back in those days, and they wouldn't have these asterisk championships. If it was a 5th, we'd all be drunk.
Exactly.
The problem is, it's not. And it is the truth. The Detroit Tigers, they can't seem to get anything going with the bats. It's the same conversation. It's nothing to be said for the next 2 weeks.
Hey, at least we get the Canadian national anthem tonight as well, which is cool.
I'll take it.
You got to love it. Hey, back to the NFL here while we're...
How many games have you seen this year, man? Right? Not to cut you off. How many games have you gone to so far this season?
This will be my 6th one.
Okay.
This will be my 6th one.
How many wins have you seen? You're 5 and what? Or you're 5 games. What's the record?
I think I saw 1 win.
So you're the jinx.
Call it what you want.
Tom Mazaway is the jinx.
Call it what you want, man.
I'm messing with you, big guy.
Call it what you want. It is what it is, man. Do we need a break, Pete, or are we good?
Friday.
Okay.
Whatever you choose. You're good. Whatever you choose, Bray.
Is there somebody we didn't say?
No.
Oh, shit.
All right, then we're going to keep it going.
I
got plenty here for you.
Have fun.
Let's get back to the NFL today. By the way, ESPN, you know how I whine and complain about ESPN, how they have really gone down the tubes. They have, guys. I can't watch SportsCenter anymore. I don't know what happened to Linda Cohn. She's like a Martian now. I don't know what the hell happened to her. She used to be one of the best. I don't know what the hell happened to Linda Cohn. Anyway,
it's probably just a gig now.
ESPN, they fire people left and right. Good people. The latest, Ed Werder, one of the best NFL reporters. covered the Dallas Cowboys
People love Ed
like
Werder.
nobody.
Everyone loves Ed Werder.
Isn't it?
How do you fire Ed
He's
Werder?
gone. Ed Werder's gone now.
Like, how many times have we seen people that are new to ESPN or people that get an Emmy for the first time after 2, 3 years or 4 years? They come on TV and they talk about what Ed Werder meant to them, what Ed Werder was around ESPN, what he was in the community that is Bristol, and just the ESPN community itself. ESPN might be falling apart, but some moves you just can't make. Some moves you got to be smarter than and say, all right, look, keep this person, keep that person. They let Ed Werder go. Yeah, ESPN it's going in a completely different direction, man.
They're
Pat
going down the
McAfee
tubes, man. They're going down the tubes.
Yeah.
Another great reporter, and they're getting roasted by all the reporters around the country. Peter King, those kind of guys, they're getting killed.
When you look at ESPN, which is currently up on the left of this screen, it looks like more daytime talk. Like, it looks like daytime talk TV as opposed to a sports outlet where I can find out what's going on with my teams, what's going on with the NHL playoffs, what's going on with this coach's talking, what happened with him, what happened with this guy and this guy after. It went from a place where you go to get news information about sports. Now it's this person's opinion about fashion, or this person's opinion about this, or this political agenda that they want to sprinkle down on ESPN. Like, give me a break.
100%.
Give me a break.
Okay, here's one for you guys. The NFL continuing. They've been in England. They've gone to Germany. Now they're going to go to Brazil.
Let's go further.
Guess where else they want to go?
Go further.
You got to go to the Far East.
They want to go to Australia and
Way
the Middle
down
East.
under.
Now,
Australia is on the map, and it could happen as early as next season. Australia.
You do realize
Australia,
time zone wise, that's the furthest place from us.
They're a day ahead of us.
Well,
Exactly.
They make a lot of sense because they love rugby. I'm assuming this game's going to be in Dubai. If it's going to be in the
Middle East.
I mean,
Maybe.
they've got some tremendous facilities.
Yeah,
there for sports.
100%.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah, but it's kind of a mystery to hear it going to the Middle East unless it's going there.
It's never a mystery when you think NFL. All you got to do is follow the money. The
Yeah, and they got
NFL
a
is
lot
following the
there.
money, and the places you're talking about, they got a lot of cheese.
Yes,
I
they do.
always knew, and other people too, this isn't anything super smart. When you watch all these places starting to go over to Qatar and go over to Doha and go over to Dubai, that's because they got that cheese. I knew it was only a matter of time for the rat smelled the cheese.
Oh, yeah.
The rat being the NFL.
That's
Isn't
right.
that something,
Go
man?
get that cheese.
What do you do as a player, man? That's a long haul,
Get
man.
some rest.
You got to go
What
out.
is that, a 20-plus hour flight?
You need to go out 2 weeks early.
No, you can
That's
get
another
to
good
Frankfurt in about 7 hours, and then it's probably another 7 or 8 to
No,
the
it's-
Middle East.
I'm talking about Australia.
Oh, Australia. Yeah. That's 20 hours, 18 at least.
Unbelievable. That's too much to me. Here's one for you guys.
Math isn't the strong
That's not a
side.
shock. Antonio Bryant made $80 million in his career. He has filed for bankruptcy.
He's still in Burfict's pocket.
What's it say? How much has he got left in his pockets now?
It says 50,000 in
50
assets.
grand. All right.
50 grand in assets.
50
Antonio
grand.
Brown has filed for bankruptcy and owes 8 creditors nearly $3 million. Brown earned over 85 in his career. He now claims he has less than 50,000 assets. This is nothing more than trying to protect the money that you do have. When people file bankruptcy, it's done all the time. Donald Trump has filed bankruptcy, just a notable name. You file it to protect businesses. You file it to protect assets, and it's a situation where AB is probably trying to get ahead of some curve. He does have a lot of children's situations, so probably him trying to file bankruptcy, shut some businesses down, figure
He's
it out.
starting to get into podcasting here and there. He's starting.
Yeah,
He's starting to put himself out there and not be like the crazy guy he's been.
He better start getting into some money.
Well, that's what he's trying to do,
Yeah.
obviously.
This kid was arguably on the path to
Yes.
being maybe the greatest receiver ever.
It ain't arguable.
Yeah.
Takes a hit from Burfict, and just his whole life changes. So, as
You really believe
distasteful
that
as
was
he
it?
can be right now,
You really believe that was it?
oh yeah,
Man,
Absolutely.
it's one of those things where you hear it a lot. You're like, and then you continuously hear it. Then you start seeing videos where they start showing him like interviews pre-Burfict hit, after post games pre-Burfict hit, after seasons and in events and things like that. And then you watch post, and you just watch from the post to now.
whole different human being.
I gotta say, man, I actually watched it. It looks like a very different person, man.
And his brain was scrambled, literally.
He looks like a different person. I'm not trying to make an excuse for him.
No, I
It just-
understand.
Fire up
yeah.
chips.
Here's another receiver
He is such a
story for
Michigan
you.
guy.
Devontae Parker. Patriots, Dolphins. He just got signed by the Eagles. He's decided to hang it up. He's retiring.
If I would have played for the New England Patriots for the past 2 seasons, I would have retired too.
But he had a chance to stay with the Eagles.
I feel, you know what, the Patriot being out there is stole his soul, stole his joy and his love for the game. That happens sometimes. So when you're in, it doesn't matter how young you are. When you're around the wrong energy, be it a coach, be it a system, be it the remnants of Tom Brady and whatever the hell else was going up there in Foxborough, you just get to the point you get over it. And then you get on another squad, and you're like, I mean, it's a different squad, but I'm so mentally drained and over it from this past experience. I'm going to be true to who I am.
But he was overrated trash in Miami. This is a guy that got in his own way over and over and over again. He had all the talent in the world. He never realized it, so he got sent from team to team to team to team. Yeah. I always thought this guy was going to put it together, and he never could.
All right.
I got another receiver one for you.
We
talked about it earlier this week. Rashee Rice has the guy that he supposedly hit in that club, the photographer. The photographer has dropped the charges against Rashee Rice.
Side deal.
He got that bag under the table.
Side deal.
He got the bag under the bag, but rightfully so. Like, this is what you do.
That's fine.
Because the guy probably provoked
his face.
Provoked him on some dumb stuff. Yeah. He represented himself, and unfortunately, he can't do these things.
Okay, away from the civil side of it, what does that mean for him with the Chiefs? He's already got a suspension looming.
It's going to help him a little.
But at the same point, he's got 2 in his offseason. I mean, the NFL's not going to look kindly on that, no?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, he ran from the 1, so you don't get a toxicology level on that. He'll figure that out. He'll get community service, et cetera, et cetera. They'll probably suspend him 4 games or so. With this one, when you drop the charge, then it's nothing to talk about, whether it happened or not. It's
not the NFL, though. The NFL, you can get charges dropped, and they'll still levy some sort of suspension. But I would be surprised to see anything less than 6 games.
Okay. I'm good with 6 games. There are 17 games now in the season. 6 games. You still have 11, and you still can help your franchise out. So
he's a young guy still.
And also, he plays for the Chiefs. The NFL is about their guys. You do remember there was somebody else that had 6 games, but it magically went to 4. His name is Jameson Williams. The NFL loves the Detroit Lions now, and they love Taylor Swift and the Kansas City Chiefs. Tom Mazaway, you excited about Sunday? And are you a Sunday cooker or a Monday cooker?
Probably Monday. Okay. Sunday, we're going to do the parade in St. Clair Shores, and then our friends have a barbecue, so I don't have to do anything. Nice. And then Monday, I'll queue for the family and some friends.
I like that.
And hopefully, supposedly the weather's so-so this weekend.
That's why I'm going on Sunday. We're doing our parents, my baby girl's parents' house. Pete, what about you, brother?
Poker, got some video games, got some laundry, and we're going to be doing lots of good eating. How about you?
I will have some barbecue for you on Tuesday.
Attaboy. What are you doing this weekend, my friend?
Barbecue for you. Silent Mike.
I'd like to be included in that as well, sir.
Oh, okay. Tuesday, I will see you. Please. So I'm going to have to do a plate count before I leave the show, see who I'm getting plates for.
Cool.
Silent Mike, what's up with you?
My wife's uncle invited us to their barbecue.
So okay. Check it out. Wife's uncle can throw down a little bit?
I hope so.
All right. Hey,
I met his wife yesterday. She's wonderful.
I had a chance to meet her too. She is very quiet, very nice too, though. She's always polite.
It's a loud household over there.
Because they're working. Because they're always working, man. And you told me what you're doing. You are doing movement. Everybody going out.
What are you doing, Bray?
Be safe. My girl's parents are cooking, so we're blending the families. I'm bringing my family over to their house. Yes, like that now. So they open the pool. They have a pool, so I'm excited about that too. Swim a little bit.
Don't forget your sneakers.
Everybody be safe this weekend.
100%. Don't do anything stupid. But ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you for always tuning in to Woodward Sports Network. This is Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, Anson, Wells. Appreciate you all week. 3 out of 5, man. You're becoming a regular.
I'll be back next week.
All right, watch out now, man. Once again, be safe. Thanks for tuning in all week. You guys have a wonderful Memorial weekend and be safe.
Bye, guys.